Hey, YouTube. Hey Kenneth, how's it going? Cheer from the darkness. Hey, I've actually got one of your picks here. I think I've showed this 110 picks. I've actually got two. That's it. Look, see, I've got this one. I've got that one. That's Dan and Justin from the Darkness's picks. And hey, Sweden, how's it going? Hey, Steam team, yeah, Pontiac today is, I was out on Friday night, went over at my pal's house, which involved a 2.5 mile walk in roundabout zero, carrying the corker on my back, drinking rum and Bucky, and then a 2:30 in the morning, 2.5 mile walk home at about -3, and I'm not drinking tonight. I'm still hungover, and that was 2 days ago. Whole day, got awful. Hey Alex, how's it going? Yeah, so I've just had a death today. My favourite lead, not that one, suddenly just stopped working. How annoying is that? And it's got freaking. I think it's a good one. I can't remember who it was that I've got a feeling it might have come with my Ibanez Ridstar, and the guy who was quite annoyed about it when I bought the guitar. And he was like, "Up remember to take this lead? That cost me 25 quid." So I was like, "Up here, all right, brilliant." And that became my favourite lead for the last 2 years. And then suddenly I was sitting there and I was playing one of Jen's guitars earlier on yesterday, and I was like, "Oh, input jack's dodgy. It was pure wobbly." Then I put it in this, and the input jack was wobbly, and it's like, I don't think I said a wobbly input jack. So it just became really, when you touched it, it just went and it kept getting all these horrible noises out my amp. Really annoying. Not that I bought the lead myself, of course. It's just that it's nice when you find a good lead. Hey, Adam Zappo, I don't know you. Welcome. Hey, Ian, how's it going? Oh, I was going to put the Yamaha Pacifica Telecaster you got rid of a couple of weeks ago or last week. Is it the one that's for sale with bare knuckle pickups in it in Edinburgh? I think it looks really pretty cool. It's got like they've got Manson written on them, so he's obviously taken them out of a Manson guitar or out of the, is it the Cort one? So they've got Manson written on them, but they are bare knuckle pickups. It looks really pretty good. I quite like it. It's like 250 quid, something like that. 300 quid. But if it is yours, then whoever it was bought it didn't like it very much because he sold it a week later. Had one of those set-in leads, bought one with the ends on screws here to fix. Yeah, well, I didn't buy it, but I mean, years and years ago, I remember in the first band I was in, I bought, I think it was called a Monster cable, and it was like 25 or 30 quid, and I was like, I want to buy myself a lead that'll do me the rest of my life, and it just broke dead quickly. And it was the band Carnival was in, the guitarist had this lead, and it was a really crappy one. It was a sort of charcoal grey thing. I was like, a good lead. He's like, no, this is the best lead ever. It's like the best leads ever are ones that you don't buy, you just end up with them. And so that's been my kind of mantra since then. I don't think I've actually bought a lead since then. It's always ones that I find, or they're in a gig bag when you buy a guitar, or you accidentally steal them from the studio or something like that. So yeah, I'm not 100% convinced that this. Well, I think it maybe I've actually decided against that. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you. But yeah, the ends unscrewing. What I do with them is, if assuming the ends and neither of the ends are knackered, what you do is you cut the cable in half, and one half's probably got the break in it. But yeah. You seen about Don Felder playing Hotel California with Sammy Hagar? No, I haven't. I have not. I don't. I did. I know who Don Felder is. He was he fell out with the Eagles. Did he make it onto? He was obviously there on Hotel California. I don't know if he was. Was he? I don't know if was he still there on. Is it the? What's it called? The last one, the black cover, the final, the last stand. I can't remember what it's called. That final, the long run. No, is that the last one? Well, it's a black cover with white writing on it. I don't know if he was on that, but he fell out with them all and wasn't in the reformation that I saw when the Hell Freezes Over tour. Or was he on the Hell Freezes Over tour, but he wasn't on the tour that I saw? I don't remember. If you're not in the bucket, you don't have to stop. I'm just going to stop when I feel like it. Once the... It's like, I don't know. Do you need the bucket? And it's like, well... Not with this head, I don't. I think basically I've got a cold, or I don't know. You can't catch a cold from getting cold, but I think I was compromised because when I came back on Friday night, I went to bed and about an hour later, I woke up pure proper shivering like I had COVID. Oh God, what's going on? I've not really felt right since, but I don't think I've got anything wrong apart from a really sore head. I got really close to Mr. Snake Plissken, White Snake. I quite like that, yeah. Mr. White Snake Plissken. Had to watch an ad. What gives? You feeling all right? Yeah. I know. I honestly feel like shit. I think I was talking about this during the week. I think I might move my streaming to a Saturday night though, so I can drink. And basically, if I'm not about, I'll do a Sunday sober talk. If I'm not about on the Saturday, I think I've got older. I'm just not used to drinking enough anymore. I mean, I was in a terrible state of download this year, just drinking for 4 days or whatever it was. Honestly, I don't remember. I wasn't that drunk. I was just constantly half cut. I didn't actually get, pure climbing up lamppost drunk. I was just constantly really tired and I started to get really stupid. I don't really remember that much. So I'm going to lay off the booze a bit. I think you need to practice more than I do. Hey, Daniel, how's it going? No, the telly's just a few doors down. Oh, well, there's another one then, Stratocaster with Manson pickups in it. He did write Hotel California, or I think, to be honest, he wrote the... I think he wrote the chords. I think he started it. I'm not sure how much he finished it or if he did the words. No, he'll pull up for Mondays. Yeah, that's another thing I was thinking about because I keep just not being able to function basically on a Monday because I'm just pure ill. So Sunday's the day that you can, and it's a perfect excuse for if I am doing something on the Sunday to go, well, if I'm selling a guitar or having to do something, it's like, well, it's a Sunday, so that's quite reasonable. The only thing I see when I moved here, I couldn't believe this happened. Our bins, when I moved to Milton Camps, our bins get collected on a Sunday morning at like between 6 and 7 in the morning. Dane, 6 and 7 in the morning, like a Sunday, collecting the bins. Yeah. Annoying. Do you have any knowledge of Revelation guitars? Yes, I always get them mixed up with the other one, which is a Reverend, which are I kind of don't look entirely unsimilar. I've actually got a couple of videos. My pal that's whose house I was at on Friday night has a Revelation. It's green sunburst, and it's kind of like a Jaguar, but like a smaller body, but it's the same shape, and it's got binding on it, and it's got pickups very similar to the ones that are in my RGX-A2. So it's like they're like sort of humbuckers, but they're shaped like P90s, and it's got quite a lot of switches on it. It's got a rotary. I think it's just a Veritone, to be honest, and a push-pull pot for coil splitting and stuff. Yes, it's a very nice little guitar. I'm not sure. It's on the. I would put it on the jangly side of not necessarily what it sounds like or plays like, but looks kind of jangly. It's got a sort of Rickenbackery surfy type Gretschy thing going on about it. It's not really, it's not metal, something like this is. Well, maybe not this paint job, but you know what I mean? It's not metal. You don't need Monday naps, Mr. Whitesnake. You'll be fine. Don Henley and Greffrey wrote the lyrics. Don Frey wrote the music. Do you need to listen to his live version of Sammy Hagar? I'll look it out. Yes. I don't think you can actually put links in the description. Also, I don't want you to put links in the description. Then everyone will leave and watch it instead. Where I suppose I could probably just watch it on that. I'd probably get done for copyright if I tried to watch it there. Yeah, I did. I definitely saw an interview with him in the last couple of years, from about 10 years ago, and he was talking about it. I really liked my favourite Eagles guitarist. Well, obviously Joe Walsh is fantastic, but on would it be the Old Grey Whistle Test or something like that? One of the old British TV shows that I used to tape when I first got my video recorder when I was still at school had an BBC in concert. That's what it was, and it was one of these Sounds of the 70s or something it was called, and Take It Easy in it. And is it Bernie Leadon, the original guitarist? Well, it's just amazing playing a Telecaster. He'd appear, hey, woo, he was just like, it was one of those folks. Not very often you see somebody in the guitar and you just go, how could you be so good on the guitar? I just thought he was absolutely phenomenal. Hey Jeff, my new guitar, Ampism, has a tuner. The regular tuner just wobbles between way sharp and way flat. The strobe setting is spot on in tune with my tuning fork. Right, it's got a strobe setting. I don't know. There is a little bit of skill in using a tuner. Sort of, you've kind of got to know what to do first. I mean, I'd imagine, see if I had an automatic tuner when I first, I didn't realize you could tune a guitar with a tuner. When I started, if you were starting off with, there was no strings in the guitar and you put them on, I think there would be string snappages because you kind of have to know. I mean, I noticed it. See, I don't try and do this, but say like I take not this is a bad example. A guitar, I take the strings off, so I'm going to take the scratch plate off, fidget with the pickups, put it back on again. Before I even plug it into the tuner, I just kind of and apart from the B and E, which are kind of intentional, the other ones are all roundabout. They're very rarely sharp. They're normally, the E will be like D something, and then it's just a wee bit shy, but kind of ballpark, without even trying it, just because I'm used to listening to those notes. And the reason I don't do it with the B and the E is because they might snap. So I'd rather I leave them a few notes low, and I'm just to get before I bother sticking the tuner in. Is JPAX working? JPAX, it's like, do you know JPAX? JPAX is working on new guitars all the time. So much so that I'm actually going. She's been given a guitar tomorrow, and we're going. Well, to be honest, I'm going to go and help her pick it up. Actually, the guy, I saw the message from the guys up here. I was like, I've decided to thin out my bass collection, and I was like, up here, I'll come with you, Jen. I quite like going to see someone who's got a bass collection. Up here, hi, that's an interesting guitar. Where's your bass collection? Because I'm interested in these things, and I'm a nosy bastard. But I've got to strip this down. I've got to do a video on it first. Nobody knows what it is. This is the next JPAX, but she's churning them out at an alarming rate. There's even a couple. Oh, I don't even know if there's anyone ever seen that one before. Did you guess what it is yet? You'll be able to see from the front. It's a Warlock. Yeah, it looks like a funny colour of green. The light in here is strange. Yeah, so this was done a while ago before we went to New York, and I kind of forgot about it. It was sitting and it wasn't playing well, and it was basically just because the strings were too low. They were just hitting off all the frets. So I've done a wee bit of a fret job on it. It's actually quite light. I've noticed that I can actually hold it like that, which you can't do with a normal guitar. It's not a BC Rich. It's called the Monstera. It's number 61 because I wrote it in the back of the headstock. So if anyone's a BC Rich fan, it's actually, I thought around about the same time she got a BC Rich Bronze Series Mockingbird. I think it was about 2 days later, which I did. And that was a bit more exciting because it was a real BC Rich. That one, It did have a brand on it. I can't remember what it was. It wasn't one I'd heard of before. It wasn't. It was a brand I'd never heard of. But it's actually pretty much. I'm not actually 100% sure. It's not exactly the same as an actual BC Rich Mockingbird as Warlock, as the Bronze series, the cheaper one. It's the same. It's got really wide. It's got like a wide neck, and it's got like big frets, and it's got really, really powerful pickups, and it's like pure and good tuners on it. So it's like pure. Yeah, they done well. Hey Kevin, how's it going? There's the link. No, it didn't. It didn't put it. Adam, it must not. I've got no control over it. I don't think you can post links in the description, which is annoying. I think I can. I think I've done it before, but I'll look it up. I'll just check it out. I do like Sammy Hagar though. Not necessarily. I'm not a huge fan of his of Van Halen in general. Obviously, there's I know he sang on that one, but I do like. I've got a live Sammy Hagar album called. It might be called Loud and Clear, something like that, and I think it's on clear vinyl, and it's really good. I do rate him. I think, to be honest, one of the things I remember when the first time I heard of Van Halen, which is when would that be, mid-90s? He wasn't, but you saw pictures, or I saw wee clips of videos, and he's got the 80s pants on, and he's got like a headset mic and like a pointy guitar, and he's pure dancing about with a headset mic on it. And it's just like, that's not cool. But I do like a guy now. That guitar looks like he could sing 2564 by Chicago. I don't know what that means. I don't know Chicago. Hey David, how's it going? Do you still have the double neck? Which double neck? I've still got a couple of double necks. Two? Just two double necks. I've got a double neck telly, acoustic electric. I've got a double neck telly that's a 6-string bass, like not a Fender 6, like a 6-string bass with a neck like this, with a low B and a high F, I think. And I've got the what do you call it? The Destroyer still. Headstocks okay. Most of the headstocks are looking. I quite like some of the BC Rich headstocks. I'm just so much one for the headstock suiting the guitar, so I don't really care. Some headstock can be absolutely hideous on that guitar. I've got a thing against, like, I don't know. See, I mean, I had a telly with a pointy headstock that I quite liked. I think about it. One of the worst contenders is this. This guitar. I think that's not the actual headstock, but the headstock being on this guitar, which is it's a kind of like a Strat. This thing's a monstrosity, but it's kind of like a Strat. Kind of, and it's what it sounds like. But that headstock just says that it should be neon pink, much pointier, and have one humbucker in it if it's going to have that headstock. I think something about that. I did actually. I bought a BC Rich because I wanted the Widow headstock, which kind of goes like that. It looks like the Conan the Barbarian thing. I do quite like that headstock, has to be said. I like the one that's on my bitch. It's kind of like a Strat, but bigger. Well, what other BC Riches I've got, and the two other ones I've got, the Wave and the Mockingbird, both have like in fact there's one there which I've still not actually found a use for. I quite like that one. I use this occasionally for pointing at things, like I'm talking about that guitar or that one in the corner. I can use this. I can't remember what it was I used it for. I used it for a pedal demonstration one time, I remember, but it was a floor pedal thing, and I had a camera looking at it, and I was pressing the buttons with it. But it's good for just gesticulating. It's a wee bit, you have to kind of, obviously it's pointing over there, but so you have to kind of be in line with it. They're good fun. What's the black one on the floor? Was that the one I just picked up? I'm a wee bit out of date. The Washburn 4 G2V. Got given it actually. YouTube doesn't allow links anymore. Folk are complaining about review videos not allowing links to the stuff they're reviewing. Oh, fair enough. I think it was an SG, was black. Traded you the telly for it. Did I have a black? Nah. Just call him Super Yob. I don't. I go through a lot of guitars. Did I have a second one? I have no idea. No, I don't have it anymore. Yeah, it's ringing a bell though that I got one. I got one for like 50 quid at one point, and it was terrible. And I think I put it on eBay, and even when the guy bought it, I think he paid about 250 quid, and I was like, look, man, sorry, in the video I was kind of like, I didn't say this is really bad, but it was. I didn't lie. I just neglected to say that, point out the good bits, like the good things about this guitar. I like the tuners. And next, it was like that kind of thing. And the guy bought it anyway and was quite happy with it. That wasn't your one though. I think I put so sorry, David, I don't know what I did with it. I don't remember it being black. I definitely had a cherry red one. No, I'm sorry, I don't remember. There will be a video of it. I'll check my videos. I'll look up double neck guitar, and it will probably show up if I had one. I don't even remember selling it. It's really, I just don't remember some guitars. It must have been after the one that I thought was shit though. Was I hesitant to take it? Maybe, because I think if it was after the one that I thought, oh, for 50 quid, I'll have that. And I don't know, maybe that was your one. Golf club, Bjorn High, yeah, golf club. So that's worse than guitar collecting. That's what I always tell people. I tell guys to that when they're going, "Oh, my wife will kill me if I buy another guitar." Look, do you play golf? No, right? Well, you play the guitar instead. That's better because golf bats are expensive. Golf club memberships are expensive, and once you've bought them, they're gone. Once you've paid for your membership and all that, it's gone. Whereas a guitar, you buy it, you play it, you've still got it. Woo, you can sell it. Oh. Look like a hockey stick. You take holy mask, true metal rock. No, the hockey stick one's the actual. I see this always pisses me off when people say, because I know the Van Halen guitars sometimes have hockey sticks, but 2 seconds. I know this because I saw it a minute ago. Yeah. See that is a hockey stick head. Yes, are we all agreed? That looks totally like a hockey stick head on the Washburn stage. You get an awful lot of guitars called hockey stick heads, and every time I see it written down, I go, that's not a hockey stick head. That's being the exact same shape as a hockey stick. Yes. Beside the point, really. Was a homemade job. You were pleasantly surprised at the time. Maybe I did. I'll remember it, David. I don't know. I'm sorry. I feel really bad about it. I wonder what I did with it. I don't. I think I haven't seen it. I think I haven't seen it recently. I'm sure I must have done it up. But that's the thing when I said I was pleasantly surprised at the time. That's because I had that one that was a pure Shanna. But that's the problem with all your Chipsons. You do get really good ones. I've had a couple of Chipson Les Pauls that were better than an Epiphone. It was like a proper real guitar. But I've also had a couple of Chipsons that were just not guitars. They looked the same from in a blurry photo or for 20 meters away. But as soon as you picked it up, it was like, what the? And it's like everything was just manufactured to look like a guitar, which I suppose if all you're going to do is hang it on a pub wall, that's fine. But if you're ever going to play it at all, this thing was just not worth. I think I paid a $5 for it or something like that. It was like, I remember buying, it was like, I met him in Rob Royston Asda for some reason. It was after I was buying, was that a set of Clussen tuners or Grover tuners for like Wilkinson tuners for like something for 15 quid. Is that, do you want this Chipson Les Paul I got? I just want some money back for it. It's like he bought it and they hadn't packed it properly and the neck had cracked or it's like kind of separated where it was glued in. Is that you want it? And it was like pure. I was like, no, I don't, I have no interest in a chips. And he's like, oh, you just want it anyway? I was like, no, and he's like, I just want some money. I was like, he'd got a refund, but he'd still had paid for the postage, and he was 40 quid down or something like that. Well, just use 20 quid for the tuners and you can have it. And it's like, okay, so I paid a fiver for it, and even then it wasn't worth a fiver. Oh. Yeah, real hockey stick. I agree, Pontiac. Yeah, totally. It's as rare as a genuine apology in Westminster. Oh, God. Yeah. The U100. I take it the U100's the BC Ritchie one. The one with it's through neck. It's got active extra switches and shit in it. I've never played one. I did have, yeah, because the U60 is the cheap one. The one that you just get. It's just you get it in black, red, and white, I think. And then I had the Urchin Deluxe, which had gold hardware, a fancy maple top and back, a sunburst finish, and then you get the U100, which is it was a sort of through neck. You know, you could see it. Obviously, the one that's not a BC Rich, but I mean, when did that come out? 1980, 80s. I think it might have been around 1981 or something like that. Just when BC Rich were kind of starting to be a thing. So although it isn't a BC Rich, I still my problem with that guitar, which is still again my problem with that guitar there as well, is it looks like an Explorer. The Urchin looks like a BC Rich. They both are Strats. It's got like a Strat neck, a Strat sound, a Strat feel, and it's like that's lovely. But I'm playing a big spiky War Beast. I want it to feel. That's why I kind of mentioned it on that guitar. It's got the wide neck, the big frets, and it oozes metal. Whereas the Urchin, even though it isn't. It isn't metal. But there's an idea, a whole hockey team with electric guitar playing music whilst skating, of course. The goalies will have a bass with huge Marshall stacks on both sides of the net. I'm up for it if you want to set it up. I'll turn up with a. Well, I'm not. No. The problem is if you're talking about, I'd obviously insist. I don't know how many people there are on a hockey team, but I mean, how many people have Washburn Stage Series? And even then, to the point, this is not the sort of guitar you take out on the ice and hit a puck with. You do ones you don't give a puck about. This is just a phenomenal guitar. Apart from the one thing that was kind of disappointed about when someone pointed, this is the through neck one I've got. Yeah, you can't see it because it's been painted, but it's like immediately it's through neck. So it's one, it's like 3 strips of wood that run through the whole guitar, and you go like that. Yeah, but there's a big fucking hole cut right through the middle of it to take the bridge, and you're like, all right. It would have been better as a hardtail through neck. I think that the argument for a through neck having better sustain and stuff is gone if you put a Floyd Rose or a thingy in it. Okay, when you picked which Aria Pro did you pick up? And Pontiac, which Aria Pro, Kevin, did you pick up? And Adam, which Aria Pro did you pick up? Yeah, totally. But they're generally really good. I've got a few Aria Pros that are total keepers I'll have forever. I really like the Thor sound in the corner there. It's like a cheap one, but I don't mind that. I've got a couple of basses. I really like the ZZB bass. That one, maybe if I got it J-Paxed. I don't know. I might bring it up a little bit. It won't let me not have ads. I don't mind. I'm quite happy with people watching ads to come in, but that's me skipping them so you don't have to watch them. They've got to make something. You know what I mean? There's no apart from Jess, who's not here yet, but he's wonderful. What was the other guitar I was playing? I'm actually going to do a video comparing the. Oh, I've lost it. The other one, that Washburn G2 with my Washburn Force 3, which that is clearly the same model of guitar as, but my one's 1983, and that one, which is mine as well, but I'm going to give it to Jen, is 1987 and Korean, and it's like it's a pretty classic. It's quite a good comparison of what happened between 1983, 1984, and 1987, 88, when all the brands that I like, apart from Ibanez, because of Steve Vai's guitar, moved to Korea to make guitars, and a lot of things were changed. Could have turned off the ad block. I've turned them off anyway, Pontiac. It's all right. So it comes up in the corner saying they're about to do it. Oh, I need to scroll down because there's a big heart in the corner of my screen for some reason. I can't see. An Aria Pro ZZ something special. ZZ what? So I once someone else typed something, or just a ZZ special. I don't know what a ZZ special is. Sorry, ZZ special, the way it should be. Like that band ZZ Top. I don't know if I've seen it. I mean, I don't think I've seen a Tobacco Sunburst one, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not. No, I have seen a special. My pal Wayne's got a special. His is a special, but it's covered in blood, or it's white with the blood splatter finish. I'm pretty sure it's a special. That's I'm not sure exactly how they work. Well, I think there must be a cheaper range, because the one, like I was saying there about the Urchin, my base is a ZZ Deluxe, so it's got like a sunburst finish and gold hardware. So there must be a not deluxe version, and the special must be the one more expensive. They are good. I mean, to be honest, the thing I don't like about this is the main off-putting bit is this. Which, I mean, to be honest, what I could probably do with this guitar, I'm not. Does it have these pickups? These pickups aren't what they look like either. I found them annoying as well, because they're like sort of low output pickups. It's like, but they're blades. They should be screaming metal, and they're not. But I do not like Calers. They're just. I think my favourite, to be honest, is a hardtail. Depends which guitar it is. You've got some guitar, what kind of things is it meant to have? And this an RG. This is meant to have a Floyd Rose. I get that. A Strat's meant to have a Strat trem, but I do like a hardtail. $300, you did all right. Hey, James Wiseman, what's the best bridge humbucker upgrade that doesn't cost a ransom? It depends what guitar it is you like, because a good thing for what one person likes might not be what the other one likes. Even if you went to like the most expensive, your Lawler and Bare Knuckle and all that, and got a super high output heavy metal bridge pickup, if you like a more PAF one, then the Wilkinson or the Warman one that costs 30 quid will be better than the £300 hand round one, because the kind of pickup you wanted was like a lower output one. I don't know, to be honest. I was one of my favorite. I don't often buy pickups. One of my favorite ones is I don't think he makes them anymore. It was a Warman Destroyer. I'm sure it was called a Destroyer. Looks a little bit like a DiMarzio. It's got the hex poles on it, but it sounds very similar to the pickup that's in my Gibson SG, and I really like that. That I would have a look at the Warman Destroyer or whatever it is like it. But with a lot of these companies, if you're buying it direct from them, they will have a bump, like a paragraph selling it to you, so you know what it is if you're sitting there, and it's like I was saying, if I was going to put pickups in that, I'd be looking at the screaming metal section probably. But even then, it doesn't work that way either, because this guitar here has a Seymour Duncan Invader in the bridge, and like the one with the big massive pole pieces. You've seen lots of copies of them. But I like that one. I like it. Although it's mega metal and high output, it's not that direct thing. It's kind of a bit more musical. It doesn't. Oh. Yeah, James Wiseman. I would go for getting one off Josie Warman and look at the. I think he's got his own website. I think they're a pound cheaper than they are on eBay or something. I don't even know. Maybe it doesn't him that stop selling things on eBay. Anyway, check him out and have a look and read the blurb about it, because it will say on it, it won't say this is basically a DiMarzio super distortion, because obviously you would get into trouble for that, but it'll be hinted at it very much. You'll know by reading it whether that's what it's meant to be. Yeah, it would be to Denmark Street in London. Apparently it's not what it was, but I've been watching a few YouTube videos and the place looks like heaven. I have been, yes. In fact, I think that's where it came. That's where I bought it. I even bought something on Denmark Street in London. I bought 2 of these black Jim Dunlop picks. Yes, and I went into the place where my Shaftesbury, I used to have a Shaftesbury resonator, that actual shop. So on Denmark Street, there's what, 1, 2, 3, 4 guitar shops, I think. Quite interesting. They're not very big. It was good fun. I was very, very, very tired. I had this great idea. I was going down to see Baby Metal a couple of years ago, pre-lockdown. And I was meeting my pal Wayne, who he was coming from Leicester, and his bus got in at 10 in the morning or something like that, or maybe it was 11 in the morning or something. And I got the mega bus from Glasgow, which was only a tenner, and I thought, that's fine, I'll just sleep on the bus on the way down. And it was absolute torture. Left at like 10 o'clock at night, got there at 6 in the morning. So at 6 in the morning, after having had no sleep whatsoever and a pure torture ride, I was just plumped out into London, had to wait for 4 hours for Wayne to turn up, and then about 4 hours, another 4 hours later, we went to Denmark Street, or we went there quite quickly. But I was so tired. When you get to that point when you're so tired, when you're closing down, it's like, I've got to eat something, and I think we got like a kebab thing, and I was eating it, you could actually feel the energy coming back for a small amount of time like that. That's when you know you're absolutely knackered, when you literally are just pure drained, and then you start eating, and it's like pure, like endorphins kick in and stuff, and you get like an hour of pure, actually I don't feel that bad, and then it's like back again. Yeah, 80s aria. Well, I love 80s arias, especially ones the earlier the better, I would have said, and not so much when you get later on. Artec are good, yeah. Was in I'm not sure all. To be honest, I'm not sure. I don't know. This is completely my own guessing, but I think Artec might make Wilkinsons and Warmans and Iron Gear. Maybe. I think they might just make them, or whoever it is that makes Artec. It's just like one factory that makes pickups, and they just make them to your own spec. So they're not saying they're exactly the same pickups, but they're made on the same machine by the same people or the same computer. And it's basically, you can, if you're going to order 500 bridge pickups, what kind of wire do you want? What kind of magnet do you want? How many winds do you want? You can set all that. So the pickups might be a bit different. But all you bought was a wah-wah pedal. There wasn't really any guitars. There was actually, what was the one guitar I thought was quite interesting? I think it was a Burns. Was it a Burns? And it wasn't that expensive. It was like 250 quid or something like that. That was my favourite guitar I saw that whole time. They had some Shaftesbury, like old Japanese, I think it was an old SG or something. That was quite nice, but it was like 500 quid they wanted for it. And I think that was the reason of, it's for sale, sort of, but we kind of like having it here because this is the shop that originally imported them 40 years ago. So it's kind of for sale, but not really. We don't want you to buy it, so we've upped the price. Craigslist Los Angeles has one without a bridge for 300 as a case. Two-tone paint. I think I've seen those. Yeah, that does seem quite excessive. I'll tell you, I paid. Oh, did I pay her? I think I paid £120 in 1998 for my ZZB, and I got £60 trading it in against my EBO, and then I paid £150 to buy it back about 3 years ago. Yay! So it worked out quite well. saw a picture of Kurt Cobain's. All right, this CS350. That's the one you've got, isn't it? I probably told you that. Yeah, I know, but the smashing up guitars things. The thing was, I don't know, it's like he was one of the first people he brought back so many guitars. Like Mustangs, he used to play Mustangs and the Aria Pros because basically what you were doing, instead of buying whatever, I don't know, like a Mexican Fender or something like that, you could probably buy 3 or 4 Aria Pros, Fender Mustangs, all these things for the same price as a new Fender, and all those guitars were better than the new one. So it's like they were cheap, and they got more expensive. Especially, I think that's why you get a particularly good. Some of the Arias are like that; they are worth more money. Yours is one that's worth more money because of the Kurt Cobain thing. Same with the SB1000 bass, which I think Joachim was talking about, because John Taylor from I accidentally hit the volume control there and pure shat it when it made a noise. I also need to put a new volume control on this because this one's, it's also a small pots, so I don't think they're original. I mean, I thought 300 with no bridge is a bit pushing it. But what I would consider actually doing with that one would be take off the caller, which leaves are a really annoying shape. Well, one of the reasons I don't like calers is it's not easy to get rid of. You take it off and you've got like a stupid kind of this shape hole in the guitar. So, but if I'm going to get Jen to paint it, because it's all scratched anyway, I could put hardtail on it and then get it J-Packs, and I bet you it would be absolutely amazing. I wouldn't want to wipe off the bit at the top that said Blade Runner, though, because it's called a Blade Runner. Also, it means I wouldn't be able to swap the pickups because they're blades, hence the name Blade Runner. Oh, Jen, how's it going? You obviously heard your name. I wasn't saying I'm going to cajole you into painting that guitar for me. Maybe I'll probably just sell it though. When you're a kid in the States, the pawn shops are full of 60s Tesco's. Yeah. Totally. And the thing is, I kind of remember wondering why they were so expensive, the guitars. I remember seeing a Washburn Tour 24, which wasn't expensive. It was 250 quid for the black, the black Telecaster with the Floyd Rose and the red binding on it. And it maybe more than that. It was 250, 350 quid. It was out of what I was willing to pay. And it was like pure, I can't believe it's like that old 80s looking thing. And it's got chips and dents in it, and it's more expensive than a gorgeous new Epiphone SG. Who would buy it? It's like, we all start there. What frets are on that guitar you're playing? The original frets that I would go for jumbo. And there's 24. Japanese frets. I would even go to the point as well because it's a Japanese guitar. It's funny when you get like a, okay, this isn't a high end, but it is a Japanese RG. I actually saw one in BCR guitars in Harrisburg a couple of weeks ago. It was the pickups were all rusty, and it was really pretty rusty. It was only $300, and it's like, that's a good buy for somebody who wants to take the bridge off and then soak it overnight in Brasso or something. But the thing about getting a guitar like this, and to a great extent, my Paul Gilbert, it's been well played. When it's been worn down, it's not these frets that are worn down because it wasn't a beginner's guitar, because nobody buys one of these as a beginner's guitar and learns to play on one because it's for going. Brrr! So generally, you'll tell that anyone who buys a guitar like this, obviously without the cool paint job, is a Steve Vai fan or something like that. But so therefore, it's going to be playing all the way all over the place. So rather than just battering out G, C, and D like I did, when you wear out those frets and you're holding them down, and the old thing about beginners guitars, the reason the frets go, the many reasons of why you get the wear at the cowboy chords, like the first, second, and third fret, normally sort of behind the thin strings, is when you're starting to play. You're obviously playing open chords. Your guitar's probably not set up very well, so the action will be high. So you have to push down on the strings harder. You never change the strings until they snap. So you get strings that are 2 years old on it and probably the wrong gauge because somebody told you should buy 12s. The guitar wasn't particularly expensive to start with, so the actual quality of the metal the frets is made of is probably softer. And also, when you start playing, to hold down like a G chord, You just have to hold it down as hard as you can to make it sound. All the chords, you have to hold the strings down as hard as you can. And then 6 months later, you've got muscle power in your fingers and you're still holding it down as hard as you can. You no longer have to hold it down as hard as you can. So over holding it down, only ever playing the open chords, having slightly cheaper frets, having crap strings. That's why frets wear out on cheap guitars. I was watching a collection of expensive guitar videos on that USA pawn shop. They had a Hendrix Strat. Curious, was Vic Flick. I don't know who Vic Flick is. I honestly don't think I've ever even heard the name. It's like, there's all these people like, like CC DeVille who yeah, that's a guitarist, I think. I don't know the band he was in. Poison or something probably. But I don't know who Vic Flick is. Who's Vic Flick? And was he clever or thick? I don't know. Guitars are a funny thing. Let's just get back to the old how much you're going to spend and how much of it's important. And saying that, I was saying never sell a guitar. Actually, when I was in, I wasn't in California. I was in Pennsylvania, in Harrisburg. I sold a guitar to a guy who was just learning. He was only really playing used chords. I was like, looking at a guitar. Yeah, totally. He bought a Music Man, John Petrucci, for learning on, and it's like that was the one he wanted. And that's the thing, though. It's like he's into Dream Theater, and like, well, ultimately, if you're going to buy a guitar, I would suggest maybe buy yourself a wee Telecaster to begin with. But this obviously wasn't his first guitar. But he wasn't worthy of playing it yet. Which is the same as anyone who's been playing for 2 years isn't really worthy of having a guitar like this. Don't really notice it. Vic Fick played on the famous. I thought it was Monty Norman, or did he write it? All right, maybe possibly. He was a session musician. Yeah, okay, possibly. I don't know. I bet you. So that kind of explains why it sold for $750,000. I bet you it was in Herman's Hermits. All right, okay. So he was an English guy then. Were Herman's Hermits American? I always remember Herman's Hermits from The Naked Gun. Something tells me I'm into something good, and it's got the bit where Frank Drebin and Priscilla Presley are running along the beach with the music playing and stuff. And I'm sure they end up accidentally clotheslining a guy as well. But at the end of it, it comes up in the corner like it was a music video saying, down there, it comes up Herman's Hermits, something good, like it was a music video. Well, there you go. I didn't know that. I don't really know much about Herman's Hermits. I was actually, somewhere I saw Freddie and the Dreamers the other day. You kind of remember them on something. But I mean, you wonder what sessions was he on? I mean, that's the thing. It's like you say, was it? And back in the 60s and stuff, Strats were pretty damn rare, and it's likely that he probably only had one Strat. So you probably, you get nowadays, you would go, oh, which guitar? It's like if you buy like not that you get session musicians in the same way you used to, but it's like you just get that one guitar that's probably on. It's not just him that's on 1,000 singles or 1,000 recordings in the 60s. That guitar will be the one that's on 1,000 things as well. Got a cheap Washburn acoustic years back. First 3 frets and fretboard were worn to nothing, and the rest were brand new. That does, it's more so with acoustics, but yes, it totally happens. But that's exactly that reason. A beginner, or the thing is, that you're not even talking about a beginner, because the second time when you sell that, you're going to sell it to another beginner, and they're going to do the same. And then once the frets start being a bit worn, you have to hold them down even harder because your frets are worn. And then, as you say, you just end up just wanting to. At least we're not sharp as knives. I haven't seen a guitar with sharp fret ends for ages. It's annoying because now I'm sitting there thinking I have, but sometimes it's like you get like, see, when you run your finger up and down, you always see Phil McKnight do it. And he's got women's stockings that he keeps in a box so he can go like that, and then to see if there's any damage on it, or tights, which is like, yeah, fair enough. But if you happen to wear tights anyway, then you've got a box of them. I don't have any boxes of tights because I don't wear them. But yes, these are things. It's just like again, if you're never going to try and get somebody to any advice on buying a guitar, it really is. Do any of your pals play the guitar? When you go and see it, I would always obviously always recommend that you bought these things secondhand. But if you know somebody that plays the guitar, one of your mates, you know what I mean, buy him a bottle of Bucky and say, "I'll give you a bottle of Bucky if you come with me. I'll take you to Motherwell or whatever it is you're buying this guitar to get a good one because they'll kind of want to do it anyway. But they'll know, assuming they've got they've been playing for a couple of years and they know how to play. They'll be able to go right. Here we go. This action's too high, and with somebody if you've never played the guitar before, you don't know this. You can try getting the guy who's selling it to play it for you, but they might. I'm pretty good at playing really shit guitars when it comes down to it. Got lots of practice. You give me guitars. You see me doing demos of guitars, playing them where I've literally picked them up for a tenner 2 hours beforehand and just tuned it up. And it's like you just go, oh, those frets don't work, right? Okay, so you can only play something. Sometimes you buy guitars and you can only play above the 12th fret, or you can only play down here. You can't play the B string at all, or all these things. I'm quite good at playing that shite. Like I also mentor Jimmy Page. Well, there you go. Yes, that would make sense. You can't get Antorias in Holland. I think Antoria were I think they were a Denmark street shop, maybe, or something like that. I know CSL, which is the Ibanez, not Ibanez, the Tele Custom I got is also available as an Antoria, but it's CSL's Charles Sutherland Limited, and he was from Newcastle or something like that. So CSL are London, but they bought the same guitars and put their own thing. Same with Shaftesbury. I'm sure you can. There will be. You can, Mr. Whitesnake. I bet you can get the guitar, but it won't say Antoria on it. It'll be something else. Again, it would depend from what era, because I think you can still buy new Antorias, or you can buy new Antorias. Somebody's bought the name, and the ones you buy are like modern Chinese guitars. They're probably fine, but they're not. In the 80s or the 70s and 80s, the way to buy copy guitars or you just went to Japan and they made them for you. You couldn't get them in China and Korea and all that, so they all went from the Japan and they just turned out to be really good. What are your views on buying online? I've always preferred to feel the guitar and play it, but I fancy playing in 3 installments. And I don't. Well, I suppose the thing is you can send these things back. I don't really like doing that because it's a bit, if it's not exactly what you wanted. But that's the thing is, like, if I bought a guitar online and it came in and the neck was broken, obviously I want my money back, but you get it back and you just don't like it. It's maybe a bit different if you're buying it from a shop, go, I don't like this, it's got the neck's a bit thick for me, or there's something, I don't want, I feel really bad if it was just somebody selling their guitar, because I've been on the other end of that before. One of the reasons I don't like eBay, it's like, oh, you can just go up here, I just want my money back. Why? You don't need to give a reason. Just change my mind, that's it. Like, which seems like a bit of a dick move, I think. But paying in 3 installments, I take it when you say on Klarna, you mean like PayPal credit or something like that. Well, I don't know. I mean, I would always just buy things at the lower end of what they're worth anyway. Not that I've bought any guitars recently. Yeah. This one's not that old, and I've got that Telecaster. I didn't buy that one, but hey Taylor, how's it going? Oh, James Pete makes every guitar player so good. There's a bit of that, yeah. Although I was actually watching let's be honest, 5 minutes or 10 minutes of a live stream the other day, the Black Friday one, and Danish Pete and Lee. I was like, is that Pete Anderton? It's not Pete Anderton. Lee Anderton were sitting there, and he was a little bit flustered too. I can't remember which guitar it was. He's like, but yeah. So give us a wee demo of that. Pete's like, well, this is like live and stuff, and you could see him kind of. I think maybe he gets a few wee takes to get going. He'll maybe sit before when he sit down, and he'll tune it up and blah 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 blah, and make sure he's got all his sounds perfect before he starts, and then work out what to play a little bit rather than just winging it, because he wasn't quite as good as he normally is. Yeah, Taylor. The one that you got free pickups for. Yeah, he's got one with a Les Paul with I wouldn't go as far as say it's got the full tree of life. It's like that. It's about that much of it's the tree of life fretboard on it. Like, did you ever find it? And did you look for it in the Ibanez catalogues and find out what model it was? And did you have a look at the date code in the bottom of the pickup to find out what year it was from as well? I find that sort of stuff interesting. It looks great though. Inexpensive guitars can play as well as expensive one when they're set up proper for the individual to play. Yes, sort of to a certain degree, yes. It doesn't really matter how much you set up like a Squire Strat. You're never going to get to play like a Japanese Ibanez though. I mean, but yes, there are plenty. It'll play as good as many, but not if you set the two of them up together. There is as good as you can get a guitar, and it just how low can you get the action when it still plays? And it's like things like Ibanez are. You can just get the action lower because they've got less tolerances in. They've got to be pure super hundredth of a millimeter accurate with all the bits, as opposed to being okay. But they can make a huge difference, yes. Definitely paying more money for a guitar doesn't necessarily mean it'll play better. I've played plenty of Gibsons, and I played plenty of really expensive Gibson Les Pauls, and every guitar you can see in here plays better than them, and you're like, so you want the pickup swapped out? You want me to set it up a bit? No, it's fine. I like it like that. Really? Okay. Did you see them? The Mary Ford White SG, they were called Les Pauls. I never put that video up, did I? When I was staying at Bill's house in, did I say I was at America? I've not mentioned it 20 times so far. He had a 1961 to 63 Les Paul Special, Les Paul Junior. Can't remember, but I played it, did a video on it. He walked in halfway through it, so I kind of stopped the video. I think I was always going to edit. I don't know if I put it up, but it was like basically a single pickup SG, but it was still when it said Les Paul on the headstock. So yes. Hey Kit Kats, how's it going? Sober tonight. It's like I don't think Monster has a number. 500 milliliters. Where's my oh, this doesn't actually tell you what percentage of my daily amount of sugar is. Damn it. That's got round it. Energy of which sugars? 55% of which sugars. That's probably right. Whereas it was a can of Rockstar I bought, which wasn't this size. We've got 500 milliliters. We're liters, but it was like a third of a pint or something. Was it 300 and something, 75, something like that, can of Rockstar, and it was 160% of my daily allowance of sugar in one small can, which kind of, it was like the first couple of sips were amazing. It was like Bucky. It was the same thickness as Bucky, just so much fucking sugar in it. But I had to stop drinking. By the time I drank 2 cans of it, it was like pure on a sugar rush. It was kind of crazy. I'm not so harsh anymore about the fact we've got that crap put in it. Never thought of Les Pauls as a signature guitar, but I suppose they are. Well, yeah, I would say that. Les Paul didn't really. You said Les Paul designed it. He didn't really design it. Not really. Not the one that actually came out. The arch top thing wasn't meant to be on it. He didn't like humbucker pickups. He liked low impedance pickups. The Les Paul recording is more what Les Paul wanted his guitar to be like. Maximum pickup was 75. 75 sounds about right for the year. Yeah. Didn't get my wee hint, my wee PayPal bing for the money for those pickups would be nice, because I'm pretty much fucking skint now. It seems I never made any money when I was away. I'll skip the ads for everyone. There we go. Oh. I always say Ibanez Roadster. I keep at least 2 at hand for those special moments. I don't know what you mean. Oh, I've got a guitar sitting in front of it. You can see it sitting there though. And then with the backup of the Blazer. The burger van next to your work sells Bucky. Wow, that sounds like a T-shirt or an album. That's like an album cover or an EP cover title. Does it really? I don't know. Some people are a bit mental though. I remember being on a site and actually had to order I wasn't on the site the following day, so it was all right. But the labourer for the brickies was literally drinking a bottle of Bucky while he was filling up the cement mixer, and it's like, you can't be doing that. No, not filling a cement mixer full of Bucky. That doesn't sound right at all. Do you have a lot of Soviet guitars in shops around the UK, and what do you think of the sounds? You don't see very many Soviet guitars at all. I do actually have one through next door, which I promised I would try and fix, and I haven't actually got round to it yet for the guy in the Bucky range. It's got like 4, 5, 6 pickups, something crazy. I don't know about the sounds. I kind of know what they're going to sound like. They're going to sound like your Tesco's and stuff like that. The build quality is just awful, though. It's one of the fancier ones as well, but it's like you look at it and it's obviously because it's Soviet, you get that thing where they've had to make their own parts if they couldn't find something that did the same thing from a submarine. You know, it worked quite well for the soft tech because they had all the, I think right up, even like the nuclear submarines had like valve radios and shit in them. So they had all the valves and all the parts to make soft techs. Whereas a machine head, there isn't really a part of an aeroplane or a tank that has a machine head on it. So they had to make machine heads, and they're pretty cheap and awful. The wood it's made of is terrible. The body's made of, I'm not really sure what it's made of. In saying that, I've never played it because it doesn't work just now, but it feels garbage. Roman concrete was made with Bucky, probably was, yeah. Get 2 rolls and sausage and a bottle on payday when you pay their tick bill for the week. Yeah, I mean, I suppose I can see the point. I mean, it's like, I can see the situation. I've been there before. You know, it's like you finish work at 4 or 5 on a Friday night, and it's like you want to go and go home, get your dinner, get a bottle of Bucky, and then go out. You can take out that. I've always been relatively lucky that I've always had a Bucky shop within 5 minutes walk from my house wherever I've lived. But I mean, it could be miles away. You know, it could be like a 20-minute journey to do that, which obviously eats into your home from work, shower, eat, change, out, bottle of Bucky on the bus. So I mean, yeah, I can totally see how you would buy that, and I totally would do that. Yeah. I'm not drinking because I was fucking drinking on Friday night and I was absolutely mangled. I didn't feel that mangled. I was mangled all day yesterday and I still feel like shit today. So I decided I would do a sober stream. So basically, you can actually ask me questions about guitars and I'll probably know what I'm talking about. Also, that we're how far in we are? Over an hour in, and look, I can still play the guitar. That was a bad example of it. That's one of the joys of a Floyd Rose when you get one and you know how to set it up and you trust it. The fact that I was doing that and then you can just smugly go. That was sounded awful the first strum, but there you go, yeah. I used to play football against a team who passed a bottle of Bucky around half time while we were sucking oranges. The old get a syringe and inject the oranges with Bucky. Good plan, I like that, so you didn't appear to be Jakes. Yeah, it doesn't seem right, does it? Mr. Whitesnake, a driving instructor isn't as bad as what his actual job is. Airline pilot, you know what I mean? Bus driver. At least in a driving instructor, you're only going to kill 2 people or potentially 6 people. You, the person who's driving. Well, I mean, you're not actually driving then, are you? I'm not even sure whether. Well, I suppose if you're a driving instructor and you've got like the dual control pedals, are you technically in control of a car? I wonder if it's illegal to be drunk and be a driving instructor. It might not be. I don't know if you're really doing anything wrong. Really. I haven't been drunk for about 20 years. I'm too old to be making myself ill on losing days. It's bad, isn't it? I think maybe it's just. I think like everything else, it's just a tolerance you build up to it. I mean, you still get people you're like, have a few beers for dinner, drink every night of the week and stuff like that. I've never been a drink every night of the week person ever, but I mean, for many years I did have like a bottle of Bucky on a Monday, a Wednesday, a Thursday, and a Friday, or maybe 3 or 4 bottles of drinking a week, and you just build up a tolerance to it. It's like any sort of poison, I suppose. You know what I mean? First time you get hit with cyanide, you know what I mean? It nearly kills you. The second time, you just feel shit for a few days and all that. 2 Polish boys who are a 10-minute bus ride from work to have a bottle of vodka on the way home on a Friday. Yeah, the Eastern Europeans are a bit mental with their drinking. That's one of the reasons that it's not Polish, it's Slovakian. My pal Peter goes to download with us. He was I blame him for me being drunk the whole of download this year. So he went in. Well, Wayne dropped him off. He set up the tent, and then Wayne came out and picked up me, and then went back in again. So I think he was left on his own from, I don't know, 10 in the morning till 11 in the morning when we got there, and he was absolutely mangled by the time we got here. It was hilarious. What was actually funnier was he phoned while we were walking up to the tent location. That pair, I was talking to him, like, talking away to him, like, we're still going to be another hour and a half and all that. And he's like, for fuck's sake, man. I was like, I'm sitting here, I'm pure drunk and stoned. And I was like, pure, yeah, no, we're still going to be another hour and a half. And I was like, by this point, I was only like about 3 feet away from him, still talking to him. And I took the phone away and went, I'm sorry about that. And he was like, oh, fuck. Yeah. So it was his fault because he started, and we just end up having tanning shots all the time. Mental. Catch you later, Kevin. Cheers for coming in. Work with heavy machinery. I still drink but a couple of bottles at a time, does me now. I take it you mean bottles of beer. And honestly, the first time I ever actually had a beer, the second time, I basically drink to get drunk. Always been the case. So I drink to get drunk. That's the point. There's no point in having a beer. I remember one time being out in my dad's boat, and we were water skiing. That was the time I got up on one ski. I did a deep water mono start in my dad's bayliner, and we were sitting there. I was like, all right, you go back. I just get any juice or anything like that. Drinks. I was knackered. It was in a wetsuit and everything. So I've got these wee bottles of Strongbow, and it was wee stumpy glass bottles of Strongbow that had been in the boat, so they were, I don't know, cold. And it was absolutely delicious. And I really enjoyed that one wee bottle of Strongbow. And I was like, yes, like a 250 ml. Brilliant. I've never seen them since, but I really enjoyed that. And then that's the only single thing I've ever enjoyed until when I was in China, and I was going to buy a Coke with this pure amazing dinner we had, and it was cheaper to buy like a litre bottle of beer. So I had a litre bottle. I really enjoyed that as well. So that's like 2 bottles of beer. But I really enjoyed that as well. So it's possible to enjoy a beer. Many times I've tried to enjoy a beer. Sitting in the house on your own, I'll have a beer. Why not? It's a Friday night, no one else is about, but I'll have a beer, and you just have it and basically drink about that much of it. And then I'm sitting there with this can, just like, I wish this was gone. You're just trying to get rid of it, because it costs fucking £1.50. I'm not wanting to pour it away, but so I don't know. No, I drink for 9.5 months now. Well done, Taylor. I did go off it for a couple of years, but not because I felt it was bad for me, just because I didn't do it. Scottish people don't all drink, Taylor. I wouldn't worry about it. I had a which hasn't saved you, but saved me, was a drive. So from when I was 17, I've been driving everywhere. So on the other side of that, so you could obviously go somewhere and drink, whereas I could never, if ever I was going anywhere, unless it was a specifically drinking night out. But the way that on the reverse side of that, anytime I was ever going anywhere and I wasn't driving, I would just drink because I could. So there's a wee bit in it. No, well done, Taylor. No. Please with you. You have to take it you're just used to it now. It'll be fine. One of my forklifters drivers in my last work spent 20 minutes on the night shift looking for his phone with the torch on his phone. In fairness, I don't think I've ever done exactly that, but I mean, I do things like that when I'm not drunk. That's because I'm an idiot, but I've done that before. I've done it. I've spent a while. You've probably seen it in the videos about that. Where's that fucking screwdriver? I totally had it, but I was putting these where did I put it? And it's in my hand, literally. Yeah. But that's just because I'm an idiot. Enjoyed 5 beers so far tonight. Well, fair enough. If that's your thing, I've never been. To be honest, I've never been a beer drinker either. I don't really like the taste of beer. It's more cider. I could have, if you're going out for dinner or I was at a concert that I was driving to, I would maybe have a Magners, because you can kind of drink that like juice because it's actually quite nice. But a beer, not really my thing. Worst thing was what gig was the gig we did in Bathgate, the last one with Rob the drummer. I was driving home and Craig got me a beer, and I was like, up here, no, it's cool. I'm driving. I don't even want to have one. You know what I mean? It's like, no, was it Heineken Zero or something like that, like a low alcohol beer? That's, oh god, no point in that at all. I would honestly just rather have a glass of water than that. Don't drink and I don't drive. No, there you go. I've got no time for people who drink and drive, though. I don't know why. I seem to be specifically against that. I just think the paranoia. One time I remember, I must have been 17, and I think I'd had a beer, and I went and picked up a pal from the other side of Lindsay, which was, it was only in the car. It was only, 2 miles or something like that. But I'd had a beer, so I was probably borderline on the limit. And I hated that drive so much. I've never done it again, ever. I will have a beer if I'm at a concert. So you get to the gig, blah, 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 have a beer at 8 o'clock, drive home at 11 o'clock. Yeah, I can do that, but I couldn't, I just can't. The thing is, it's just like, how could you, okay, you're going to kill you might run somebody over, right? That could happen any day. You could run somebody over and kill them, and then the rest of your life, you killed somebody. If you're drunk when you do that, you've got to live with the fact that if you hadn't been drunk, you might have been able to avoid them. So I couldn't live with that. That would be that would drive you to drink. That kind of thing would just, that the thought of that's just not enough. Obviously, it's going to be fucking awful if you did run somebody over or something like that, or why you don't drink and drive. But if you were sober, then at least, I'm not talking about legally, I'm just saying if you were sober, at least you know that there probably wasn't anything you could have done. Whereas if you were drunk and you hit somebody, surely the rest of your life you'd be going, if I wasn't drunk, I might not hit them. Awful. I miss beer, drink non-alcoholic stuff. I want the taste of it, but honestly, it was just behaving like a pure addict before. Even if I only drank 2 nights a week, I'd kick the arse out of it too much. See, that's the problem with me. I'd kind of kick the arse out. Well, I don't know. I kind of limit it. If I just basically, I can't drink more than a bottle of Bucky. That's it. And you've seen me in some of these. Like, I've been sick after a live stream before. I can't remember which one it was. It was a while ago when I started doing the live streams. That's when I started drinking Bucky again. I literally, after the live stream, hung up and went through there and puked. That's how bad Bucky is for you. I just can't drink any more than that. When I was 17 to 35, I would buy a bottle of Bucky and then a can of cider or lager or something to have once I'd finished my Bucky. So you'd be staying up to 3 in the morning or something like that. So I'd have finished my Bucky by 11 and I would sip that can of cider till 2 in the morning when I went home. That I could handle, but not in quick succession. That's why I'm still out today. I mean, I had 2 rums, and when somebody makes you a rum, it tasted nice. I have no idea how much rum there was in it. Probably, that or something. And then a bottle of Bucky, and it just wasn't nice. Can't quit both at the same time. I'll get off the cigs and hype up the caffeine, probably. That's a quick spoken before. Same guy phoned up cops. See, that's when you start getting scary shit, isn't it? Wish you don't know what you're doing. Oh. I spent ages ringing my phone to find it in the house, walking about, listening to it ring, and then find it in my back pocket. Yeah, drinkers. Oh. We had a drive-through liquor store here. We were the worst state in the Union. And the Union are out the drive-through. Hey, Afghazo, don't recognise your name, but there's no more drive-through liquor stores. There's drive-through banks, which I'd heard of before in America. We don't get drive-through ATM machines. We don't get them anymore. Hey, Gordon, how's it going? The Maxon came off a Greco. I know the guitar it came off. There you go. What's his face? Taylor. There's Golden Age of Horse Racing is the guy who bought them, and he knows which guitar they came off. Well, I assume they are Maxons, Gordon. We don't know. They don't actually say Maxon on the back of them. In fact, the ones that are in my telly don't say Maxon on the back, but they do have a number stamped on them, whereas your ones don't. I don't know, but I drive through. I was going to roll a fag, but I've actually got. I'll have half a cigarette since that's what's left. I was going to try see if I didn't get demonetized, which is the thing that's annoying is because you've already watched the adverts anyway, so it's like they take the money away from me, but I don't know. I'm nearly out of tobacco as well. I actually tried to. I had a fag of there's obviously high quality stuff. American Gambler. I knew I was running out, so I was like, I saw this has been lying on the floor in the hall for the last couple of weeks. There was enough for one roll up in it, and my God, is that strong stuff. Smoke normally. Good fun. Brilliant Gold Edge. I've got the bridge pickup, and that's it, man. Don't know what a sound. My Vantage has Maxon P-bass style. Pontiac, are you sure they're not Gotor? Those ones. I'm just assuming that if you've got a Vantage bass, it's going to have the same pickups that seem to be in every bass I've got, apart from that one, obviously, because that's the one you can see. But the West Tone Thunders, the Arias, well, maybe not. I think I've got about 6 basses with exactly the same DiMarzio looking pickups. You can tell they're not DiMarzios because they don't say DiMarzio on them, and they've got not Imperial metric Allen keyholes on the front. But it could be Maxon. I don't know. I mean, I have seen Maxons actually say Maxon on the back of them. It depends what year they're from. I don't actually. In my Telly Deluxe, my new one, the one that dated to 74, I think the neck pickup says Maxon on it, and then it's got like a stamped serial number, and the bridge pickup doesn't, but the stamped serial number is exactly the same font and ink and order as the neck, which does say Maxon on it. Bet it's not as good as my Antonia Gold Top here. You're a Gold. Well, I don't know. To be honest, Gordon, it's the same guitar. I think I've not played his one yet though, but that Gold Top was fucking amazing. I would rather have a Gold Top than a black one, but it's completely over the top and unnecessarily. I would never pay any extra for the Tree of Life inlay on the fretboard. But it's quite nice to have nice things, so that would probably swing it for me. If Taylor's, even though I've not played it, if it just had dots or just the bars rather than the Tree of Life thing, I think I'd probably have the gold one. I think that's probably still the best Les Paul I've ever played. Well, sort of. I was saying I was playing that SG or the Les Paul Junior 1961 that was SG shaped because they were still called that then. That was pretty good. But I didn't play it for very long. 1982 Vantage bass Maxon, no, could be wrong. DiMarzio still, yeah, I think they're Gotor. Those pickups, they could be Maxons. I don't know. I think Maxon. Well, I don't know. When did Maxon stop making pickups? When did they do this? I don't really know that much about them. I do know that Maxon, the Tube Screamer, the Ibanez Tube Screamer pedal, either was originally called a Maxon and then rebadged as an Ibanez, or it was both at the same time. But Maxon made the original Tube Screamers, so they obviously had dealings with Ibanez. So it would make sense that Ibanez were. I don't even know who makes the pickups for the Roadsters because I've got a Super 70, and that I think that's Gotor, but it might be Maxon. And the Super 70 is the pickups that are in the Washburn Wing series, and well, those ones, them. Yes, they do have 2 screws on the side, but that's just a base plate. Can still with the same pickup with a different base plate. Washburn power sustain pickups are, because my pal talked to the guy who ordered them. What kind of pickups is it that's in them? Well, we just asked for the same pickups that are in the Ibanez Artiste at the time, the Maxon, the Super 70s. So that's what they are. So there you go. But who they were made by, I don't know. Black Les Paul copy by Crown for sale here, 350, looks good. I think Crown are another one of your brands, like we were talking about Antorias and CSL and Arbiter and all the brands, and Avon, the ones that Shaftesbury, the ones that we got over here. I think Crown is the American equivalent, so it could very well be exactly the same guitar. If you look on the back, I don't think I remember to ask you. It doesn't. See if it says it's written the way it is: steel adjustable neck, special steel reinforced neck, whatever it is. If it's got that on the neck plate and it's the original neck plate, it's made by Matsumoku. This is a bit more modern. So this one actually says on it Aria Pro 2, but kind of, how is it worded on this again? No, that's the accurate bolt-on system. No, the original Matsumoku ones, not all of them though. That's when it comes in. You know, it could still be. It could be a Matsumoku built guitar that just says made in Japan on it. But if it says steel adjustable neck, steel adjustable truss, whatever it says, I'm trying to think of a guitar I've got that's got it on it. See, that's just. I've got one, but it says steel adjustable neck on it. It's a Matsumoku built one. No, but it's gold top. Yours for a snuff it, right? Okay, cool. Well, see, the thing is, Gordon, you've just shot yourself in the foot there because my pal Rab knows who you are and knows where you live because he's your postman. I wouldn't involve Rab in it. Obviously, he's too nice, but I could. I'm sure I could get him drunk. In fact, I even bought him this. I bought him a present. He's the only person who got a present from America. We've got an 8-track cartridge because he's got an 8-track machine that he asked, do you know how one of these is? Can you fix it? I was like, I've never even seen one before. And I saw these and they were 25 cents each. And that guy, look at him. What's his name? Johnny Paycheck. Take this job and shove it. If you're going to have one 8-track cartridge, that's the one you have. 8-tracks never really did in over here. Got a Pacifica this week for my nephew to start learning. When I was leaving, the guy said, take the amp as well. A wee Tim Marshall, 90 quid. Perfect. No, I mean, I was doing I did a Pacifica. It was the cheaper ones at the 112 last week for the JPAX one. And it's fucking brilliant. I even made her play it. So I play this guitar. The Pacifica, yeah, like, okay, I like my wee Washburn. Okay, I played it. She's like, this is really good. Yeah, I fucking said it was really fucking good. I know, it's an awesome guitar. I even like the look of them. I think that's what basically, if I had my way, that's what most of the JPAX guitars would be, painted up like these, but a Yamaha Pacifica, so you've got a pure rock solid super guitar. The lads from Polyphia. I don't know how you pronounce it or say it, or whether you spelled it right, but I know the guys you mean. Have that Tree of Life on their guitars while playing their overrated music. I don't really see them as being overrated because I've never seen them rated. They're one of the bands that I wouldn't mind seeing it download this year. We've got fucking Baby Metal this year. So Baby Metal and Polyphilia, whatever they're called, are, I think, about the only two bands that actually I'm going to make a point of definitely going to see it download. Protomatic 4. Yeah. See, the thing about that, though, is, Alexander, they did give them, Aria were good at naming shit. So you get Protomatic 4s when actually it's the same pickups that are on a Westone. And it's those Ibanez V4. Are they? I need to work out and see if they are actually Ibanez V5s. Or Ibanez call them V5s, but Aria call them something else. My yellow Westone Concord, what's it? They were good at it as well. It's got what are they called? The Hammer. It's got the Hammer pickups in it. They're just MMK45s, but they're called the Hammer. I still need to have a look at the MMK45s and actually check them out proper, because there seems to be an awful lot of variance in them. I'm not sure the MMK45 wasn't like just a factory or a serial line or a type of base plate you put on pickups, like a rating for the brass or something. Because I mean, obviously you've got a brass back plate. You can put any sort of pickup on a brass back plate, whether it's Alnico or blah 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 types of magnets and all that. So we don't know. This crown has the Gibson diamond under the name. That's Grants have got that. Quite a lot of the copies of the Gibson diamond. Hey Taylor, I can ask him. The other Maxons, Taylor. Yeah, I know. He basically bought. What I can't remember. I can't. Yeah, I look at my videos for it. Taylor, there you go. No, definitely. If you look up Antonia Gold Top, I think there's 3 videos. One, because the pickups that were in it didn't work, the original pickups, and then Gordon bought other ones that I put in that weren't as good, and then he bought those Greco ones, and then got his original ones rewound. Is that the story? Something like that. So it's got the original pickups back in it, but neither of them worked, or one of them didn't work, and he got them rewound. And he sounded fucking brilliant. It was amazing. It was already a really, really nice, but with those pickups in it, it just gave it a different thing. Johnny Paycheck once shot a guy over an argument over turtle soup and was acquitted. I can't imagine being right makes it okay if you're arguing over something like turtle soup, unless that's like a euphemism for something else. But over any sort of soup and shooting somebody, I suppose you might not have killed them, just shot in the leg or something. I don't know. You Americans are weird. Johnny Paycheck rocks. He maybe does. Do you have an 8? I don't have an 8-track machine. I could probably just look him up. Polyfiller, the album, papering over the cracks. Polyfiller. All right, Polyfiller. Okay, yeah. No, I kept hearing bad things about Oh, the first thing I heard was good things. See I don't know. It's that the guy's got tattoos like that. Looks like he's wearing a scarf. Looks like something wrong with you, mate. I don't dig this tattoo in your neck. It's like you're already quite interested in playing the guitar. You don't need to tattoo your neck to make yourself interesting. But good they offered to Ibanez wanted to make him a signature guitar, and he kind of said, well, no, because I like this one I've got. I can't remember. It's not a cheap. I mean, it's like an Ibanez RG 1500 or something like that. Just like a standard. I'm quite happy just with that one, and he didn't want to have a signature guitar. It was just that guitar with funny inlays. So he got like a nylon string electroacoustic thing made instead. And I was thinking, oh, it's got the Tree of Life inlay. And you think, oh, that's going to be fucking expensive, and they were like 699, something like that. So I thought that was really quite cheap. But then I started seeing on the Ibanez pages folk going up, and I don't know about this, and it's like the bridge is pure lifting off it, and one of them had was it the jack socket or something? It was like it obviously been pushed in, and the plastic had just smashed into a million bits. So I don't know how good they actually are, but they look surprisingly cheap for a guitar. Also, the idea of doing having an electro nylon stringer, I quite like the idea of that. Came with Epiphones, then Grecos, then the original Mac. Right, so it came with Epiphones in it. Right, it came with Epiphone pickups in it, and then the original pickups were in the case, weren't they? But it didn't work. I'll save you all from your ads. Yeah. Slide off your cheese. Epiphones look too new. It wasn't the fact they were too new; they just weren't as good pickups. I mean, the sound difference. I mean, I would like to think that basically you could show me a guitar that I think should be shit. A Harley Benton, for example. Give me a Harley Benton, I'll be like, if it is actually really good and sounds really good, I will not stand on my previous statement. I'll go, I was wrong. I will change my mind given better information. So one day I might get handed a Harley Benton that is really good. It's possible. I don't think it's likely because everyone I've played's been at best middling after it's been set up. Never good, never on the, oh, it's a belter. But Max Odds are stamped 12 804, which I'm sure is, I can't remember. It gives you the month as well, because on my Telecaster they're both a month apart. One of them's like June and one's July. Because obviously they didn't make the pickup and put it in the guitar. They made the pickups, they went in the big box, and then they get put in guitar for the next 6 months, sort of thing. So it doesn't mean the guitar was assembled on the day the pickup was made. It means that the pickup was assembled on the day the pickup was made. It was put in a box, and then when they got to it, anytime that year, or maybe even possibly the year after. It's the same with, like, you often get date codes off pots. Basically, it means it can't be before that. So mine's 74, so my Telecaster is not from 1973. It could be from 75 or 76 or something, but it's not, because if you look up the catalogue, it only looked the way it did for a couple of years. Then they changed the small things changed. I think they changed the truss rod cover, so mine's got that truss rod cover, so it's either 74 or 75. I can't remember, whatever it was. I've not actually I've been missing out on this guitar a lot. I haven't. I just ended up. It always seems to happen with guitars. I don't get enough time with my new one, because this was my new one. The scratchy volume pot, which I'm going to replace. I was going to do it before the stream, but it was only half an hour. And I thought, if I try and do that, I'm just still going to be sitting there in a panic. Whenever you put a time limit on putting things, that's when things go wrong. Even though changing a volume pot's pretty simple, but I can't have that scratchiness not on a guitar like this. But I didn't have it long enough before I accidentally bought the Telecaster, only because, well, I obviously owe Jen quite a lot now, but at the time I was like, I built a pergola for that, and I was up here, I got some brownie points here, right? I want a J-Pax Telecaster, and I saw that CSL one, and I thought, I'll get a Telecaster, that's great, because I didn't really want to do any of my ones. I was like, I'll do that, that'll be fantastic. And then as soon as I saw the actual thing, it was just like, no, it's not getting painted, no way. Things in fantastic condition, and it's from 1974 and all original. I'm no painting that. I'm not mental. If it was all bashed and someone had sanded it was covered in stickers, it was irreparable, totally paint it. This one, arguably not. This is never really going to be a valuable guitar as a collector's one, though, because it's just an RG. It's not even the year I thought it was. It's 2002 or something like that. So it's and somebody's obviously they've done it professionally, got it done, routed it out, and put 3 pickups, third humbucker. It should just be an HSH, not an HHH, which also makes it a bit more interesting, because I've done my own special wiring on it. This one's got a 5-way switch, so you've got Invader. In position 2, you've got the middle pickup, the Screaming Demon. So you've got a coil split Screaming Demon and a coil split Invader for position 2. In the middle position, it's the full-on Screaming Demon humbucker. Position 4 is half is that, and the pearly gates both split. So you get positions 2 and 4 are strap positions 2 and 4, and then humbucker in the neck, which I quite liked. I think that's obviously one of the reasons why this guitar was quite cheap as well. Maxon used to make great cheap pedals. I think it is, yes. Well, in the 80s, in the 70s and 80s, yes. You don't know about these things because the name could have been sold to someone else. I'm sure actually I remember seeing on Anderton's, they re-released them, the original Maxon one, but I think they're just, the name's just owned by Ibanez or something like that now, or owned by somebody else. I don't, it's the same as we were talking about Antorias earlier on, because you do still get modern Antorias, but there's nothing, well, it could even be the same owners. They don't buy guitars in Japan anymore, so there's nothing to do with that guitar apart from it says Antoria on it, whereas the modern one would be a Chinese, just copies. So I don't know. She handed me a Harley Benton, such a tune right there. Well, she hardly had a Harley Benton when I wanted a steak and kidney pie. No, I mean, they're not fucking terrible. It's just one of those things that, see, you're probably exactly what you're saying there about your polyethnic. Them, the rating, lots of people saying they're pure amazing, and you hear them and go, oh. I mean, that's the thing. That's one of the reasons why I hate Oasis and U2. It's because so many folks, they're pure amazing. It's like they're fucking gashy. Other bands that aren't very good, but nobody says they're pure amazing. They're not pure winning awards and pure. They're like, well, that's fine. I'm not bothered about that. I'm not bothered about other cheap guitar brands. You know what I mean? It's only when you get ones that there's such a devoted following to it, people who don't know anything, obviously, because but they're been. It depends what you want, I suppose. It's just once it's like once you've tasted the premium stuff, it's very difficult to get excited about other ones unless it's a different type of guitar. I mean, that's where it gets to. You know what I mean? If you've got like a Strat, you're not going to. I'm not going to be that. Never going to be impressed with a Squire Strat because I've got that one. So no Squire Strat's ever going to blow me away. But other Squires might, because I don't. If it's a guitar I don't have, like maybe I don't know, a Jazzmaster or a Jaguar or something. Although I've played both of them, I'm not a huge fan. But there could be another type of guitar. But if it's just a copy, it's like, well, it's got to be a better one. Oh, my usual Martelli's decided to turn itself off. Those batteries in that thing have been going for about 10 years. Speaking of my Telecaster, actually, again, which is not on the wall just now because it's sitting through next door. I keep meaning to try and rotate these round a little bit more than I have been. I was talking to someone earlier on about Numi Rapici, and I thought, she was in that Stones video for Doom and Gloom, and actually can't remember because she gets her boobs out in it. That was why I remembered she was in it. It's actually quite a good song. I like the song, but Keith's playing my custom telly, or one that looks very like it, which I never really saw it as a Keith Richards guitar. It wasn't after I bought it. It was like, oh, you think you're Keith Richards like that? But oh, does he? I didn't really remember. Harley Benton, The Bleating of Sheep. No, I think there is. I don't know, but it's fine. I mean, each to their own to a certain point. I do kind of get it. If you like, there is a sentiment. We've all had it. I mean, obviously, it doesn't look like I do now, but when I was like starting out and stuff like that, you're thinking, oh, what kind of guitars do you want? You just want the prettiest ones. You think, oh, I'd like a Telecaster and a Stratocaster and a P bass, and it's like, yeah, you can probably buy a Telecaster, a Stratocaster, and a P bass for the price of a Squire. Any one of them, like a Squire Strat, you could probably get a Harley Benton, at least two of them, sort of thing, and they kind of look better, and they polish them up, so even the one that's only 120 quid looks like the £300 Squire type stuff. Yeah, I know. Yoakum's still on. I think you said he had them, just doesn't tell him. A Harley Benton, it's transgender. I watched an interview this morning on with Graham Linehan, who's the guy who wrote The IT Crowd and Father Ted, and he got cancelled because of comments on transgender stuff. Something about it's not a subject I know anything about. But I don't know. It's amazing how it just gets picked on, and it does seem it's a conversation you just don't want to have. About the same-sex bathrooms or the bathrooms. It's like, should you be able to go in if you're does a woman have a right to feel a bit uncomfortable that there's a woman who used to be a man in the cubicle next to? I don't know. It's one of those things. Kind of, I'm quite happy for anyone to do anything as long as they don't hurt anyone. But that's where you hurting someone else? I don't know. Yeah, I know. It's just dodging it. And there we go. Yeah, so I don't. It's like one of those things I just don't want to talk about because I don't know. And it's also because it kind of doesn't affect me. I can't really be bothered looking it up to find out. Really, just as well I'm not on the Bucky because I would. No, because I would just have said the same thing. What was it? Bill said to me, "Is that there's room enough for everyone." And it's like, well, sort of, yeah. Not so much for machine gunners and murderers and stuff. Not really rough room for them, but yeah, being a little bit odd is fine. used to be a man and I bought a Telecaster. I think a Telecaster makes you a man, you know it. If you actually had one Telecaster, you sold it. Yeah, I think the Telecaster is the most manly of guitars. It is quite bizarre. It's you do often see girls playing them. I mean, Telecaster's super manly, no comfort on it. It's like I wouldn't have said a Strat was particularly girly guitar, but for some reason a Telecaster kind of is. I don't know why. How does that work? Because the Strat's kind of more curved and softer and a bit comfier, whereas the Telly's like block of wood. Ah, here we go. Gung, gung, gung. It's like great. Still got two. Fair enough. Quite right. Are they both get different pickup configurations? Is that how you justified it? That's how I justified it. I don't even think. Do I do? That's how I see. I'm the expert of justifying these things. My FGN telly, I bought that because it's a telly. Although it's not. It's a slightly different shape than that, but it's got two single coil pickups, like a Telecaster pickup and a Telecaster neck pickup. Whereas no other telly I've got has both those things. And even the black one I just bought, it's got a humbucker in the neck, so and my Schecter's got two humbuckers in it. The 224 has two humbuckers in it, but it's got a Floyd Rose. I think that might be my entire telly collection. Now, at one point, I remember having 13 of them. But again, no two are the same. I've got like a 6-string bass as well that I made myself. That doesn't count. I've got the Shocking Bird, which again, your daughter stole your good one. You had to get another. Oh dear. Okay, fair enough. The other guitarist in my band, a woman, used a telly through a Marshall 2x12 combo. Sounds great. 2x12 is a good speaker combo. I like a 2x12. I prefer a 3x12 because it's one more, but 4x12s are too big. Yeah, no, I like that. None in the chat, Mr. Whiteside. You might not know. Back on topic, the Casio MG510 and Fender GDIC is an uncanny pairing. Touch that typical practice amp with built-in MIDI. Who'd have thunk it? Yeah, no, it's great. It's not a bad MIDI generator on it as well either. It gives you that. I suppose you do need an extra lead. So, but apart from the fact you need all you need is an extra lead, and you've just got your whole rig to sit there. And it's like, to be honest, that guitar is well good enough. It's got a really flat fingerboard. I find it's like a 22-inch radius or something stupid because it didn't even. I can't remember, but I was trying to use my wee measury things, thinking this is a very flat fingerboard. It's super mega flat. Something to do with because it's meant for doing that. But the guitar itself is a good enough guitar just to be guitar. That's actually how I bought it. I bought it as a guitar because the MIDI didn't work in it. And I was thinking, a Stratocaster. No, I'm a Stratocaster. Oh. And it came in a hard case. It was like 110 quid, I think I paid for it. And the guitar sounded fantastic. And the guy said the MIDI used to work, and then he took it out of the cupboard and it didn't. So he just sold it. But he used to use it for doing backing tracks because he was a pub gigger. But yeah, no, it's super handy if it's just there, because then you've got that whole. I've always had it, I was like, so I'll use the MIDI guitar. And it's like, even though that was the plan when I bought that wee Jesus, that's dirty. That thing, which kind of reminds me of the wee alien woman in Robot and Wall-E. That thing is just basically a MIDI sound bank that runs on battery. So I think I could just Velcro that to the front of the guitar and then have, the 100 and however many sounds it is you get in a MIDI bank, and then I would run it into a separate amp. But then even at that, you're still talking about having to have at least another channel in your amp or a second amp, and a lead going from that to this. Whereas you're sitting there with just all you need is a MIDI lead. Bang, awful good. It's not what it's meant for. It's meant for playing MIDI backing tracks. It probably puts it in a very specific time. I took my Telly and Blackspar DT25 to work to try it full blast. I remember you saying you were going to do that. It sounded like the end of the world. I don't know, would I take a Telly? It's like, if I was going to go into work like into a warehouse or something like that and blast my amp, I think I would take some with humbuckers in it. Just thinking that the single coils you might get pure piercing. I don't know. I do remember taking my Marshall 400 watt outside and having it up at full bung in Lindsay, and my pal had a radio mic or a radio backpack thing. This is 20 years ago, and I set it up on the front of him, went out onto the street, which was like 150 yards away, and played it, and it sounded absolutely amazing. Even though I couldn't see it, it was on the other side of the house. It was in the front garden and trees and all that. It was the only thing that got me. It was the boom, boom, but it sounded pure crisp and clear. It was so loud. The problem with that amp, well, that's a bit there. When you start putting it up loud, it doesn't sound any louder. Your brain just starts hurting, and you realise you can't hear yourself shout. But the actual sound quality of it just stays the same. You know, when you turn a guitar amp up, it starts to distort. It sounds loud. That bass amp doesn't. You just turn it up. You just turn it up as loud as you want, and it sounds exactly the same as it does at drum kit level. But you can no longer hear the drums at all, even though the cymbal's there. The drummer fucking trying to get your attention, hitting the cymbal, which is there, and you just totally can't hear it. You're like, oh. I used to find that a little bit when I was playing it in the house before. You'd be sitting there playing it and going, it doesn't really go that loud. That's not really that bad. And you go, hold on. Is it I'll turn the telly's on. I'll unmute it. Oh, it's not muted. Right. And then, over the next 10 seconds, your earring comes back and you go, sits in because you've obviously just pure pressure vacuumized yourself. Using something for backing tracks is tough to find. There's a new pedal dedicated to it. 600 is a tough sell. Boutique company. They're selling out though. Yeah, well, you could just, the loop pedal I've got, I could put backing tracks in that and gig. It's got I assume it's got 99 loops in it that you can record and then just cycle through them and have backing tracks that you've done it all yourself and just put anything on, record anything. It's got a mic input on it, it's a stereo on it, so I could put synth stuff and make up backing tracks to play along with, and they would generally all be me playing them. So, if you wanted to do that, it'd be fine. I've also got a pedal called a trio kicking about somewhere that kind of automatically puts shit behind you, but it depends what it is you're playing. Yeah, Pontiac, I think you weren't here a couple of weeks ago. He commented on one of my videos. He's doing all right. I think he's going to be a father. Or that was the thing. He's with his girlfriend, just 25 years younger than him. I didn't mention any of these things. But he doesn't. His phone died. He doesn't have another one, so he's got no internet access. So he's going to comment. He'll comment every now and again. So he's all right. And I've done it with a few. The best thing was a DSL 5-watt, the dual super lead with my PRS Santana. Getting caught in the CCTV working like a maniac. Of all the things you're going to get caught doing on the CCTV, it's like pure. I got a wee word with us like, we caught you stealing. Well, I wasn't stealing. No, you weren't stealing. You were fucking. You came in at the weekend and played your guitar up loud, didn't you? When there was nobody there. It's like, yeah. So you can just imagine that being. I've got to tell you not to do that, okay? But well done. Sleaford Moss just used a laptop with backing tracks. Singer works, live musician just pushes, play and dances with a beer. No, but a beer would probably be better. Yeah, Mr. Whitesnake, his phone's knackered. It doesn't have a phone. Yeah, I don't think it really matters which band it is. I remember being really, really disappointed by Hawkwind because they did laptops and if you're good, it's not necessarily so much the having laptops, because you can have them doing special effects or some bits out of Hawkwind. It was more, bits of sci-fi films and all that crap. It can be anything, more sound effects and stuff rather than actually just playing music. But it's just not rocking to be up there rocking and having like a laptop sitting there. That just sucks. So if you're going to do that, find some way of hiding it so you can't see that you're just using a laptop. I can't be bothered with that. It's my workshop, so they can fuck off if you think I'm weird. Quite right. You should have taken the CCTV footage and put it on YouTube or and put it on Facebook Marketplace as one of these, the shorts, and then just put a clickbait title and lie about it. This is what the employee was caught doing. Blah blah blah. And you maybe find some way of monetizing it so you can do all right out of it. I don't know who Sleaford Mods are. You're weird. That's fine. Yeah, being weird is fine. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I'm going to swap guitars even though I'm not really playing it. I've not. How's that? See as I dug it out. How's my A20 doing? Seeing as we're talking about hockey in the winter. I'll go for the corker. I can't be tuning it. As the temperature has varied quite a bit, I haven't played that obviously since before I went away, but it's now winter. It was kind of summer when I got there. But in saying that, I didn't actually have to tune the RG because it's got the locking tuners and the Floyd Rose on it, so it's still perfectly in tune. This one just going to. GDPR kind of stops you from sharing out CCTV of your employees arsing around. I don't know what GDPR is, but I mean, but the thing is, he's not. It's a fake thing because it's actually him. I don't know how it works. I can't imagine. There must be some things. Was there not a guy who got done for wanking in the chips in McDonald's or something like that? I don't know how true these stories are. I don't think I actually saw it written down. Someone told me that, and you're just like, I don't know. I can't imagine the situation where you would. I mean, I can understand not liking the job, and I can understand being annoyed about something, but I can't. You know, I'd be more likely to write rude messages on the bathroom wall or something like that. No, spunking the chips. It's like kind of puts you off. Maybe it was like maybe KFC or Burger King put out that rumor or whatever it was that did it. Mind you do get some really weird folk who would probably think that was fun. I do really quite like this guitar. Maybe Michael Winner was in. I know who Michael Winner is, but I've no idea what he must have done. Some films and be quite good. The managing director message was all jump request ACDC. Quite right. The backing tracks pedal is Idoru. Well, it's not something I would ever. I mean, okay, there's places for it. And there's quite a lot of people. I mean, I know I don't know if he still does it. I think they've actually got a bit bigger, but I know a guy from Stirling who runs a couple of tribute bands. One of them's Pink and something else. I think he did Bon Jovi at one point as well, and he's kind of done that. You know, it's just funny. I mean, I totally get it and how it makes sense. I think he's actually now got a drummer. Cause actually, one of my pals was playing drums for him. He's got like a full band, but he used to have literally. I think it was one of these. I don't think it was a laptop. I think it was like one of the Roland Phantom keyboard things. So he would have a guitar on, and the Phantom keyboard, which would have the drums and backing tracks that he played into it previously, and I assume it's his wife, would sing. So they'd be able to do it, and he would just play the most important bit, or the coolest bit while he was doing it. So he would be able to play, if it was like an Elton John song, he would be batting out, or not if you're a Pink or Bon Jovi tribute band, you're not likely to be playing. You know what I mean? He'd be playing the most important bit live, and then he would be able to put in guitar solos and all that for those ones, but it would all be worked out, which is a different way of doing it. And I totally get that being a great and very efficient way of doing a gig, because it means you obviously still need a bit of a van to take the PA, but that's kind of it. There's only two of you, so rehearsals are easier. You can work out what you're doing. You just sit up and you don't take up that much room in the pub, and you can turn the whole thing down and all that stuff. And it is live music. It doesn't say, live music is okay. There's a backing track and a keyboard, but there's a live guitar, or there's live keyboard, and there's live singing. So live music, it's still, and the music itself, some of it is live. Doesn't mean it's all live. I went to see Australian Pink Floyd at the Hydro last night. Not a big Floyd fan, but they do put on a great show, though. I'm sorry to say I did enjoy it. I actually went to see the Australian Pink Floyd at the Hydro a few years ago. One of my pals had a spare ticket. I was like, I like Pink Floyd, and it's the first time I'd ever actually really enjoyed Dark Side of the Moon. They've got all of because they've been going. Is it not? They're like it's like their 40th or their 50th anniversary or something like that. They've been going forever. But they've actually got all the Division Bell stuff. Like after the Division Bell tour, Dave Gilmour they had all these specially made lasers and screens and all that shit that were kind of going to nowhere. So he just gave them to the Australian Pink Floyd. So it was, you saw genuine Pink Floyd light show because it was the Division Bell light show and the videos and all that stuff. I had a co-worker that did that. Really? You know some weird people, Mr. Whitesnake? I don't know. I've never worked in the catering industry, so I don't know. Maybe is it the temptation of that there? It's just like look at the way this has gone shiny. I'm going to polish this guitar. Did they have a big inflatable kangaroo when I saw them? I can't remember. It was a long time ago. Wasn't that long ago? Maybe 5 years ago, something like that. But yeah, I like that. I think that was their album cover. Yeah, so that just means I'm not really. I've never been a fan of tribute bands. I know which sounds stupid, seeing as I'm in one. But I was may have actually been my second gig, or my third gig was the Australian Doors at the Barras, and I've just never really been that much of a fan of thingy. Did Pink Floyd put on a show? It wasn't just nondescript dudes standing in the shadows with vid screens and light show. Well, that is the show, really, isn't it? So that I don't know. See, again, it's one of those things that, see, because Pink Floyd are so super mega highly rated by everyone, that's why I'm not that much of a fan, really. But Dark Side of the Moon, that's quite good, aye. But it's when you see the Pompeii video, it's like, yeah, that's my kind of thing. But I did enjoy the show. It was great there the whole time, and I suppose to a certain extent, how different would it have been if it had actually been Pink Floyd, especially from that era? Because even probably going back to the Division Bell, maybe because Pink Floyd were probably the biggest light show that was ever done at the time. I don't think big video screens were really a thing. I definitely remember seeing gigs where there weren't big video screens. The Stones had a big video screen, I think, for all of the gigs I was at. That was like 95, so that was 5 years later. And they had like a big video screen, but the big video screens never used to be a thing. Inflatable kangaroo and inflatable teacher. Working on a cover, it's easy, but it's hard to sing along. Seriously. There is a Syd Barrett Floyd tribute. It's called Nick Mason's Saucer Full of Secrets. I think they do, and it's got Nick Mason on drums. I think they do. When I say Syd Barrett, I think it's basically the first few albums, so it's not all Syd Barrett stuff. But the Kings years ago, and then the SECC. It just shows you how long they have been going. Everyone's seen them. The Kings would have been good. You've seen it in a theatre, like an actual theatre. I actually remember. I remember my pal who actually I went to the Australian Doors with at the time. She saw them before that. They were in the Kings, and they used to sell. Is it Up in the Gods? It's called the cheap seats up at the top where they don't bother. I don't know what it's like now, but it used to be. They would just be plain wooden benches, and there would be no cushions anywhere or anything like that. And you didn't have any lights, and it wasn't a toilet and all that shit. It's basically the scum class, but you would be right up the top, and it would be like $5 a ticket. Kind of like that idea. I wish you could get gigs like that, because there are gigs I would go to. There's obviously a formula somewhere. This is kind of like the Bon Jovi gig I went to at Hampden. If you could sit right at the back at a football stadium, where quite often you go to gigs and they don't bother filling up the seats at the back, but they're paying, you're paying £100 for a ticket. It's like, I don't know, I go and see Bon Jovi. I'm not paying £100. Well, I don't want to go and see Bon Jovi at all. I'm not paying £100 for a ticket. Then it's like, but you can sit right at the back for £12. Oh, can you? That sort of thing. I would go to more gigs. It's the same thing about playing somewhere like the gigs where you can get crap seats, but you can still, it's not a band that you're pure mega into and not want to spend huge amounts of money on going. I would just go to more. The Roger Waters show at the Hydra was beyond amazing. I heard that. I got a free ticket to that. Didn't go. Couldn't go. That was the night that I was actually waiting outside the Barras in my car. We're parked outside Blitzkrieg shop because I'd got on the guest list to go and see Pete and Diesel, and they'd taken a Bucky caster. So I could have gone to see. I mean, okay, the stage show at Pink Floyd would have been amazing, but seeing one of your own guitars getting lowered through the roof of the Barras with a helicopter noise, that was maybe a bit more once in a lifetime-y, maybe. I wish I'd gone. That would have been great. I have seen Roger though. I saw him in Manchester on the In the Flesh tour, maybe. Sitting on the floor at the front of the second block. So, but it was just like that. Just widescreen, just pure, and you could see everything, and it was good. It was great the way the floor kind of came up a wee bit before it got to us. Your kind of totally unhindered view the whole time. It was amazing. And he played pretty much everything I would have wanted Pink Floyd to play. I don't know if there's really any. Certainly didn't walk out going like, "Oh, he never played." Gilmour does some Barrett songs as well, waiting for the new Sid Barrett documentary when it's on the bootleg sites. Oh, there's a new Sid Barrett documentary. Cool. I'm not a huge Sid Barrett fan. I do quite like. I went through a spat. You know, YouTube when you end up watching one video on something and you end up finding it. I'm pretty sure I did watch a Sid Barrett documentary. Like in the last couple of years, it was maybe, I don't know, maybe 10 years old or something like that, and it was interesting. Hey Max, once he can't dig no Bon Jovi's. They've got a couple of songs that are worth going to see, and it's 12 quid. I just got drunk with my pals and just at the back shouted, and it was great. So I'll give them that. I do quite like the folk in the band. I like the keyboard player. He's cool as fuck. I have seen some horrible things about or horrible videos people have taken about Bon Jovi singing. John Bon Jovi singing being he's lost it, but I mean you don't know how well recorded is it on a phone anyway, but it didn't sound good. I got tickets years ago for the Eagles and Neil Young on the same night. What one did you go to? I'd imagine you went to see the Eagles. Don't know. Where were the things? I don't know. I remember not going to see. I mean, yeah, you are a huge band, all right. Octopus. I went to Barrett and the Madcap Laughs. Yeah, no, they're good fun. Yeah, and I like Relics, which is a sort of Sid Barrett-y type one. I remember I used to have a copy of a bootleg of Relics, which one of my pals got. I had I've got the records, but they gave me, and it had extra songs on at the end. It had Point Me at the Sky, Point Me at the Sky and Let It Fly, and I can't remember what else. Apples and Oranges. It had like an extra, to make it up to the 80 minutes, it was like an extra half a dozen songs on it, and it was really good. Run to You, that bass and acoustic, the timing is a mofo, right? But Bryan Adams is awesome. Is it more the timing of the singing that goes along with it? It's some songs are impossible. I always it's too late, but not too late. That one is. I've spent so long trying to play that song, looking for Today by Black Sabbath, and it's amazing, but it's just there's nobody can sing that. I can do most of the other. I mean, I even found out that at one time a couple of months ago, or a few months ago, Brian, the singer, Ozzy, couldn't make it into the studio. And it's like, he'd only given us like a couple hours notice, so he cancelled. I was going anyway working some songs. So I fucking wrote out the words. And we did the whole set, and I could sing every single song. And there was only a couple of wee bits where I was a wee bit off on the bass, having to concentrate more on the singing. And the bass was kind of like one of those things, I'll just let my fingers do that and not think about it. But that's maybe partly to do with the fact that I've played all the songs a lot of times on the bass, so I really knew what I was doing. But I was amazed at how many of the songs I could sing, but not that one. And there's lots of songs like that. The best bet's to go for songs by somebody who's like Hendrix songs are always easy to sing. When I say easy to sing, I mean he tends to sort of go like that kind of thing. So it's like singing then or singing the same thing. Neil Young, good. Well, which Neil Young was it? I wonder if I was at it. Run to you. Trying to think. And I've got I bought Bryan Adams' Greatest Hits because the front cover of it's like a Land Rover wheel. Because as soon as I bought my Land Rover, I got a fucking Land Rover wheel, and it said Bryan Adams' Greatest Hits when it normally says BF Goodrich All Terrain or whatever it is in white writing. The Eagles live sounds like a CD. Yeah, no, I get that. I mean, I genuinely I saw the Eagles. I don't know, a long time ago. Maybe 2000, something like that. 2001, something like that at Hampden. And the first half of the set was really fucking boring. It was that whole, you could just have put a CD on and had 5 boring guys standing there. This is nothing. And the second half came on, and Joe Walsh, who was there in the first half but obviously told not to talk, started acting like an idiot, and it was fucking hilarious. He just came out and was like, rah! And he was like fucking smashing his guitars up and jumping about like an idiot and playing all these rocking songs, and it was so much better. It was like a pure, oh, I've changed my mind. This is great now. SECC, it was fecking boiling. First time I saw Neil Young was at the SECC. I wonder if it'd be the same year. It probably was. Must have been 97, 98, something like that, the SECC, and the tour was, I bought the t-shirt, Dead Man Walking or something like that was the current album. The t-shirt I bought at Central Fibers, was it Johnny Depp's in it? I've never actually seen the film, something Dead Man, and I hated it. I thought the gig was fucking awful. I was really ill at it. Was hot as fuck, yes. It's that same one. It was pure boiling, and I remember I wasn't driving, but for some reason I wasn't drinking, and I felt really ill, and I remember I used to get Quash cardboard orange juice things, and I remember getting one of them because I was just so thirsty and pure dying, and it was fucking horrible and made me ill, and I had a terrible gig, and I would never go and see Neil Young again because he was shit. And then the second time I went to see Neil Young was about 10 years later in London, and it was fucking roasting. We were upstairs in the Hammersmith Apollo, whatever one it is, and there was something wrong with the toilet. So you know that fresh air freshener shit, the blue cubes you piss on, pure reek to that, and he was playing a solo acoustic, and there was a guy sitting next to him painting a picture live, and it was awful. It was like, oh god, terrible. And then the third time I went to see them, it was like my pals, I go to see Neil Young in Aberdeen. I was like, I don't know if I can go to that. Fuck that. It was pure shit the last couple of times. Love his albums, guy, they're shite. And he's like, well, there's a spare ticket, and I don't really know how we're going to get. See, tell you what, I'll drive there, right? And then you can drive my car back. How about that? I'll give you a free ticket. So I did that. So I had a sober one, and it was fucking brilliant. And then I saw him at the SECC, and it was fucking brilliant. Then I saw him at the Hydro, and he was fucking brilliant. So Neil Young is top notch. Really enjoyed that stuff. Duran Come Undone. I'm going to do that one. Got to practice like I'm awful. It'll probably suck. Hey, Papa Blue, how's it going? It's funny. Video yourself, Mr. Whitesnake, when you're doing covers and stuff like that. It is good to have party songs, but the problem is the thing is that what's happened to me is that there's so many songs that I used to be able to, that actually worked up to be, party songs or acoustic jam songs, but it's really frustrating because I can't remember how to do it, or I remember the chords and stuff, but I don't remember the words. It's really annoying that I can remember the song, but it's like the words I need to, it's not even when I look at them, I go, oh, a quick scan, oh, we've got them now. It's like, no, I still fucking don't know the words to these at all. I actually went to an open mic night, acoustic mic night at, what was it? I can't remember what the place was called when I was in Harrisburg. I remember a band called the Sharks. It was the bass player in the Sharks was hosting it, and I went up first. And I was like, I'll just play some songs, I can't even remember what I did. I was just going to wing it. I was already full of confidence from doing my blues jam thing like that. That's to be fucking easy. So it's just me with this Ovation acoustic and a PA, and all the Americans pure whooping and hollering and stuff and singing along. I played When I Wake Up, and I know it's going to be, and I've never played the song before, and I've no idea what any of the words are. Ha ha! I just did it because I'm Scottish. And I played like, I don't know, 3 or 4 songs, and I was just like, please come and help me. And the guy was hiding behind there was like a booth where he was sitting. I don't know where he was. He was hiding. Like, let him go up and do some more. Oh, it was awful. Ugh. I love a grumpy old bastard like Neil because I am one. Quite right. No, when I saw him, he was fucking great. We were right at the front for both the gig at the Hydro and the one at the SECC and the one at the Hydro. It was one of those ones where I think we got 2 pints each. It was I'd got like a black, like is it Copperberg, the black or a Magner's dark fruits and a red one or something. So I had 2 drinks and we went down. We sat through the whole support band. It's like, well, really got to just stay here for when he comes on. Well, even if it was only for the first bit, and he came out and he was fucking great. And even he did a song called "Fuck Up," which is, the chorus is, "You're just a fuck up, just a fuck up." Me and my pal up here, this is fucking great. And Neil's like up here trying to get the crowd to sing along, and he's like up here, like, hey. And he literally pointed at me and Peg and went like up here, "Dude, come on, fucking, you're just a fuck up." So we're like up here, okay, you're just, so we had to shout that at him, and he was like up here. So because he wanted folk to shout, "You're just a fuck up" at him. But that was I really got the thing about Neil Young when he's like, he did play some hits and stuff, like a wee set when he came out and played Needle and Damage Done and all that shit. But the rest of the time he was just playing A, which is like that for 10 minutes, and it was fucking amazing. Really got into it. When you're at the front, it totally makes sense. I do think there's probably an element of, Neil Young, I've always been a fan. I've never seen any of his live stuff, but I really love his greatest hits. Hope he plays all the greatest hits, and it's like, no, he's going to play some. I think he even played Psychedelic Pill on that tour. It was just like, yes, 20 minutes of one chord, get right into it. Yeah, Mr. White, I've actually got the video from it as well, but I'm not putting that up. Fuck that. It was a pure panic station. It kind of was sprung up on me. I was expecting, if I'd known about it the day before, I would have made a point of actually sitting down and learning a couple of songs so I knew some words, rather than playing like a verse with mumbled words, a chorus that I didn't know the words for, another verse with numbered words, another chorus, and then a sort of kind of solo-y thing in the end. That's how I was doing songs. The crowd were much nicer than they are here, though. Everyone was really trying to help out. You know, like, come on, we're willing you up. Come on, and you can do it. I don't mind tribute bands because sometimes there's a chance of seeing the original act. January, I've got CCR and Greenock. I saw that they're playing. It doesn't stand for Creedence Clearwater Revival, the way it stands for Clearwater Creedence Revival. I saw that. They're playing. Is it the QM or something like that? There is. Well, I've seen John Fogerty. I saw him supporting Tina Turner in Hampden. I saw him in Amsterdam, and I saw him in London. So I have seen. And John Fogerty's fucking amazing live. I don't know if he'll tour again. No, we were even. There's actually, I don't know where my photos are. There's actually a photo. I've got a photo of John Fogerty and the rest of the band, and the big screen behind him with me on the big screen like that, taking a photo with a camera, because back in the days you had to take cameras to these things. And I've got a photo because we were like for jumping up and down, going mental because it was John Fogerty. Everyone was there to see Tina Turner. I don't think anyone knew who. There was a big response to Rockin' All Over the World because everyone knew the Status Quo song, but I don't think anyone else knew who he was. And we had banners. One of them was John Fogerty, like a cardboard thing. My pal had made it. The other one was "Put Me In, Coach." And he's like, at one point, John Fogerty came out, and his first thing was like up here. He's like looking at it, and he's like, you could see him going, he's got a John Fogerty cardboard thing like that. They've got to "Put Me In, Coach." Shit, that's not on the set list. I don't know if this band knows how to play that. And then after a few songs, like, any songs you want to hear, just shout it out. We're like, Centre field! It's like, any songs you want to hear? And then but everyone who was standing within 100 yards of us heard that as well and went, aye, centre field. And he went, yeah, here's Bad Moon Rising. It's quite funny. Goes from Chill Out Harvest Moon to Kick It In with Rockin' the Free World. He's the man. That sounds like it might have been the tour that I saw him in Aberdeen, because he played Harvest Moon. And the version of Rockin' in the Free World had an amazing end. Did it have that? Like false endings. It was like, yeah, keep on rocking in the free world. Duh. It kept stopping and then starting back up again. It was really fucking good. Hey, Steve Zero saw Peter Green in Loch Gelly Community Hall. I don't know where that is, but it sounds quaint. No, it sounds amazing. I don't know. I've ever seen anyone. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone really good in somewhere really small. Really. Where was it? Saw Ozzy Osbourne at the Barras. Saw Judas Priest at the Barras. When they were doing their sort of small tours. I don't know if I've ever really seen anyone really big in a really small place. Or remind you to tell you about yeah, tell them good, Mr. Whiteside. You worked with KC from the Sunshine Man. It's a wee village in the middle of nowhere in Fife. Yeah. I've seen the signs. I've just never stopped there. That's because people used to go to gigs. You always see that. I remember my pal Gavin Suter's mum saw Black Sabbath play Kirky. My uncle Derek saw Black Sabbath play the Student Union on Thingme on the same level that I've played on when I was in a band. Linton Quesky Johnson and Castle. I don't even know who that is. I did see Elton John in Falkirk Stadium when he was doing some tour. Like it's like I don't know what I've no idea what league Falkirk are in, but the stadium wasn't that big. But it was great. It was a fantastically strange place to see a gig. I think that was one tour. It was Davy Johnson, who I've got his pick. Is from Falkirk, I think, or somewhere round about there. And Elton's like, "Pure up, yeah, I did. We're in Davy's hometown. Where was your house?" And Davy's like, "Pure, it was kind of that over there behind." Where he grew up. Because like was it Pullman? We were at whatever Falkirk Stadium is. It was a great day out. That was a really bizarre one. Getting a stadium gig, and we're second row, and I was right at front. And I was like literally from here to the door away from Elton's piano. For Elton, it was great. Actually, I bought tickets to go and see Cat Stevens at the bandstand in Thingy, but then COVID hit the bandstand in Kelvin Park. I saw Dowie in Melville's nightclub in Livingston, your crap. I don't know. You just missed out on these things. But then again, these people must have been huge at that point. I just don't really ever remember getting any super opportunities. Mind you, I've never liked music that was current. I was always into the Stones and shit like that, stuff for the 60s and 70s. So any band I did get to see were always well past it. They're in their 40s and all that by the time I got to see them. Just because I still don't really like modern music. It's not as good. It's all chic. Wow. The Cat's pajamas and Guruk. The rest of the band were superstars. Had that. What's who's the Zal Clemenson apparently thinks the Bucky Castles are hilarious because he's seen them. He was assigned to security detail. He was very hospitable and gracious host until I mentioned the Bee Gees. What's wrong with the Bee Gees? I like the Bee Gees. They're good. I can't remember how to play it now. I'm sure it's just one chord. Everybody staying alive, staying alive. Everybody shaking and everybody shaking to be staying alive. No, I can't remember how you play that. I used to be able to play that. Hey, see, not been on the Bucky. If I'd been on the Bucky, I'd have been able to play Staying Alive. What about Neil Young busking outside Central Station? I remember I've seen the video, someone taking a video of that before. Casey no likey Bee Gees, shame. Seen Mrs. Mac from Take the High Road and Grilltoe Community Centre. Not bad. I saw also from Take the High Road one time. I was in Tinnabrook when I was 8 or something like that, in the back of my dad's Volvo, and the Voltan's sidekick, the guy standing next to Brian Blessed when he's playing Prince Voltan in Flash Gordon, walked past with his kids carrying an Avon. That was like, that's bad. And Dad's up here. Oh yeah, he's in Take the High Road, isn't he? Probably was him. And it was like, it fucking was him. It's like proper being 8 going up here. My God, someone from Flash Gordon just walked in front of us or behind us carrying a rubber boat. Amazing. Bee Gees stole KC sound. They weren't disco. They moved to Miami and seen KC. Right, okay. I get it. I think so. The Bee Gees were kind of credited as starting disco when I suppose they weren't. I never really thought about that being a bad thing. They just thought it was R&B. I've seen that said before. But I don't know. I don't know why I ended up watching. There's a thing on YouTube, and it's the Bee Gees in the recording studio recording. Is it Tragedy or something like that? And the way they're working, it's fucking muchos respect to the Bee Gees, because they are playing it. Morris is playing the bass and they are working it all out, and they're totally, it's their song. They're not, there's no, oh, where's this outside written song? No, they're doing it there live on the point, right in the studio, and it's really impressive. And they were sitting there, and the singer Barry, he's got we want the bit where it goes, there's like an explosion. So we want an explosion. How can we get an explosion? He's sitting there chatting away, having a coffee, just up here getting an explosion. We can use like timpani drums and explosions, and it was like the sound engineers like up here, right? Just as a like, I'll just make an explosion noise with your mouth. Just give that a shot. I'll put some echo and shit on it. It's like up here, yeah. As a stand-in, but we're going to get dynamite. You know what I mean? We're going to work out where they're going to go. And he just goes, and then put the reverb on. He's like, I can hear that playback. Bang! And he's like, wah, done. Right, next. Oh, really good. Bee Gees from the early 60s, pretty good stuff. Of course it is. New York mining disaster, and got to get a message to you and all that. Yeah, totally. I'm off to bed work tomorrow. I'm no taking a guitar because I'm busy. Work is shite with no guitar night, everybody. Night. I'll make next Saturday. Next Saturday, I'll get a bottle of Bucky, right, and then we can all get slammed. And I want abuse in here. I want people talking about all the things I get banned for. Well, that sounds pretty good, Mr. White. Well done. It's like, it's like, so are you into Casey and the Sunshine Band? I've been into, yeah. I used to be into the backing band. I honestly don't even know. I don't even sure if I know who. What was their song? Because it wasn't. I always get it mixed up with Katrina and the Waves, but it's bam bam ba-da-da-dum, bam ba-da-da-dum. That's not Casey and the Sunshine Band, so I don't really know. I'm not sure who they are. Give it up, baby, give it up. Is that one? Stayed pure and kept my job. You wouldn't have lost your job, was it? No, I'm sure you would have got away with it. Unless you murdered her afterwards, I suppose, so you would have lost your job or did something really bad. Yeah. Having crabs is sometimes a bit of a bastard, isn't it, Mr. Whitesnake? You probably lost your job for that, yeah, or whatever else. The clamp, whatever, all these other things, I don't even know what they are. It's like, I know it's getting early anyway, but I think I'm still full of shit. I think I need the bucky to get myself talking crap. Any more questions? I'm just going to go to bed. I'm knackered. It's a bit early. Requests? No, don't ask me a request. I've not been playing the guitar long enough to. Clean, maybe. Still got work to do in this guitar as well. I'm getting really pernickety with slight buzzing, just a bit. This thing's react. I just need to do it a week. Oh, I'd love to play Blazing Saddles, but I was like, Blazing Saddles. I can't. It's a. Those ruled the West and feared the down. A man went up with a man with guts to take the Western hand. They knew. See, I can't remember it. It's just that difficult. No, can't remember it. Any modulation on your pedal board? No. No, delay doesn't count as modulation, does it? No. I'm thinking of putting a chorus pedal back in again and stuff. A couple of for some reason, like playing, I don't know, some guitars kind of make me want that. More vids of me walking around town. I need to do a video of me walking around the supermarkets and stuff, because a lot of people seem to be an awful lot of Americans seem to watch me when I was in America, going to, like, you know, the dollar store, and it's like, this is a crap video. It was just a dollar store. What's happening? No, it's interesting for us because our pound shop's different. So I'll do that, and I'll be able to show you all the weird things about up here. Look, here's the section of all the chili. 2 different cans of chili. What's that? Not a whole aisle. Shit like that, you know. Hey, Sloan Ranger, you've just missed out on everything. I'm sorry, I'm sober, so I'm going to bed. I don't know. Yeah, so I'm just saying I'm going to do some. I'll do some walking about town videos and stuff. I'm trying to think of somewhere good to go. I don't know. For exotic locations, we go to, I don't know. It's like, I got to take some castles. Anyone notice the thumbnail for this and the thing I put up on YouTube earlier? That's I couldn't be bored taking a photo because I didn't know what to take a photo of. Normally I'd take a bottle of bucky and stick it somewhere and take a photo. So I just looked up. I just went to Facebook, and the first thing that came up was someone had taken a photo of the Kincaid House Hotel, which is about 200 yards over there, and it looks quite like a castle and shit. There you go. Oh. Hey Scott, how's it going? Better late than never. Sort of. To your health, drinks beer. Well, cheers. I'm on the Monster. I was drinking Friday night and pure fucked. Next week it's a Saturday night drinker though. There's a lot of great deals for Marketplace recently for Ibanez and Washburns. It's difficult. I know. People don't want things in. People don't want Ibanez and Washburn. They're not. People want just vendors and stuff. It's really, or Squires and stuff, and they'll pay a lot of money for them. I actually saw an Epiphone SG400 this morning for 55 quid. It was in Kilmarnock. Look at the board driving all the way down to Kilmarnock to get it. Bargain and deluxe chili sauce. Even our food has a class system. Oh, you get chili sauce. No, I'm talking about in America. There's whole aisles of the supermarket that's just different types of chili. Chili and beef and chili and beans and chili and all that shit. I mean, again, yeah, that kind of bizarre. They have a castle across the street from you. There you go. I don't know if you'd call a Kincaid House Hotel a castle. I suppose the roof goes like that there for a castle, but I don't think it's very old. I wonder who's watching adverts just now, because I just insert. I'll let them run, seeing as I'm trying to make up some space. But yeah, no, the SG was like the Malco Rambles. I'll do more of them. I haven't really thought about it. We're almost coming up to MOT season, I suppose. It's normally freezing when I have to do the walk, but it's always the same walk. If I'm ever going anywhere interesting, I'll try and do it. Yeah, I'm just trying not to buy any more guitars. It's like, they keep coming to me. This was the year that I decided I was not buying any more guitars. I think I didn't do too badly last year, and I think I only bought like 2 or something like that. It was like pure or ones that I didn't buy and sell, and then this year I've already got a few. Oh, do some Weir's Way material. I'd like to go. I could do that. Easy to find. I should just go to Loch Lomond or something when it's a nice day and Maybole Castle. Right, I don't know where that is either. Oh, I do know where there's one. I think it's actually called Tom's Glen, or it's been called Tom Weir's Glen. It's called now. It's in near Stirling, Tillicootree. There, there's a mad Victorian walk that goes up a gorge, and they've got like they put steps in and like Victorian ironwork bridges and shit over this gorge thing. It's pretty cool. Maybe walk up that. Have a fag and a can of juice at the top, then come back down again. Oh, it could be quite interesting. This guitar does have a really strange things. Loads of good walks in Argyll, yeah, but fuck walking's pure walking very much. That's not. I think more rambling. I don't know. To be honest, there's probably quite a lot of good walks here if I could be bothered going in any direction we are. If I go in that direction, I get to Liddell in a mile and a half. But every other direction, it's further away to get to any sort of civilization. I should really. There's a waterfall I can actually see out of that window that I quite fancy when I first moved in here. I was like, I'm going up to that waterfall at some point. Never done it. It would just be, I mean, it can't be that far away. It must only be about 2 miles from the Bucky shop. Just park and walk up just across fields. It should be interested. Yeah. Oh, Rasmus, you got a last good question for the night. The old Proline series by Ibanez. I've never seen one. They didn't last very long, the Proline series. I don't think they're 1986, 1987. They'll be amazing because Ibanez guitars 1986, 1987 were fantastic. They're kind of sort of like this S series, kind of. I've never played one. I don't think they lasted very long, but I bet you they're brilliant. MOT shit, I almost forgot. Can I keep her a little longer? I hope. Well, it cost me more than it cost for the car last year to get my MOT. So this year I better fucking get it. I think I'm gonna have to get the brakes done. I hope not, but it'd be nice. The cut walk, Greenock to Inverkip. All right, I can see that would be. Oh, is that judge like walk over the top bit? Because obviously, when you get to Greenock for the Morrisons, you turn left to go up and over the back way, and you come down at Inverkip, or you go straight on through Gourock and round. So you're talking about going over this bit in the middle somewhere? Is that what it is? I can imagine there'd be good views. There must be good views up the Campsies. Fuck's sake, I can see them out there. They're only just there. There must be a possibility of going up there and then just taking a photo of the house. That'd be pretty cool. I was actually talking to someone. MOT at that moment when you have a new car, it's always nice. It's not always nice, no, because I'm sitting there and I got like, thank fuck, it just cost me 800 quid for this bit of paper. shove it in the guy's in his mouth. You know what I mean? But yeah, just purchased an 87 PL1 sound left ear drum trio, so I didn't finally get it. Oh, I'm afraid I don't know what the PL 1770 is a really high number, so I take it that's a really expensive one. I don't know, and even rarer in left, I would think. I mean, I'm a fan of the series. I've got I was playing Ibanez a minute ago. I've got an 86 Roadster, and I've got a RG 140. Don't didn't damage it. And I've got an RG 550 from 86. So kind of. Hey Tom, yeah. Well, if you notice, I'm not slurring and talking absolute shite just now because I'm not drunk. I've not been drinking. Next week, Saturday night drinkathon, and I hope to get. I hope to get so everyone else can drink as well. To be honest, I'm just fed up being a total mongo on a Monday. It's a pure nightmare trying to do anything. Just it's just not. It's just not worth it. I'm too old. You made a video about a Yamaha Spirit 10. Is that an amp? A great clean sound it will be, yeah. I think I don't know. I don't recognise the name Spirit 10. Is it the wee boxy one with a sort of gold thing on it? Yes. A 30 watt would be good. It's probably. I think the only thing that really gives it away with the wee amps, which I've found out, is really the speaker's the most important thing, and really just like having like a wee speaker, unless it's one of the modern, like the wee Black Scar ID core with the two tiny speakers with a full stereo thing going on. You just need a bigger speaker than what's in all these wee amps. You know, like. This is pretty similar to those RS series guitars, but a fancy pickup preset. Yes, I know the ones. I've got push buttons. I don't know what they do. Not the first. We've got when you say the first Ibanez Edge trim, the Ibanez Edge trim was actually fitted in '86. So technically, it would be the second year of the Edge trim. But yes, the cut is on the hills, but follow a stream, so it's almost flat. Wow, cool. I've never heard of it. I would be quite interested. What does the fancy preset pick switch thing do? I've seen pictures of it, but I don't know what they do. Just push buttons. Is it just an on switch for each pickup, or is it more complicated than that? Preset gives me the thought that it would be like you could almost program it to be different things. I don't know. I don't know. I'm guessing whatever it was, I guess it wasn't popular. Otherwise, people would still do it. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's not a great thing because people don't like change. It's like, oh my god, I don't like that. Oh, you can try and get around it. And they tried to get around it in this guitar because it's got like a 6-way switch, but it's all right because it still looks like a normal 5-way. You know, it's just you get 3 along the bottom, and then he pushes up the way, and you get 3 along the top. But the Ibanez Edge trims are great. My 550 has it. Are fantastic. I'm saying that I'm not really. I think you get more modern Edge ones. That's one of the things with Paul Gilbert, and that it's got a low TRS. One of them's got a low TRS, and one of them's got a low TRS2 or something. And the difference is one of them has got like a pop-in tremolo arm, and one of them's got like a screw-in arm. That's kind of about it. But I don't know. I think it's the most important. There are 5 buttons. One turn the whole thing on, and then you have a button for each pickup to turn them on or off, plus a coil split for the bridge humbucker. Makes sense, yeah. Probably not the easiest thing to use if you're just going up on stage for one song and someone hands you that guitar and you go, but give 10 minutes playing with it, then he's a shot. But not that you're going to let anyone else use it. No, that sounds interesting. One turn the whole thing on. Yeah, no, so I quite like that idea. You could maybe just. I take it you still got a volume control. Aye. 1, 2, 3. And does the coil split work reverse from the normal button? So you turn on like both coils? So on and on would put on and on? Or is it on with just one of them, which turns on the pickup, and then the other one splits it in half, which wouldn't make sense. Yeah, sounds great. Yeah, those the Yamaha 10-watt amps are great. There's just nothing really can fault with Yamaha stuff most of the time, apart from that weird stuff that the Crazy Brother does, that plastic easy guitar, and there's a couple of sort of really bizarre looking things that you're kind of like, but other guitars and stuff are always just top notch. One extra button for splitting. That doesn't sound like the right way of doing it. Surely you should have to turn on both coils. So both buttons in should be both coils on. But what you're talking about there is one button in turns on both pickups. If you put the other button in, it halves it. So you're one of them adds and the other one takes away. I'd be honest, I'd probably rewire that. Yeah. Just from because of my dick and I do things like that. Yeah, I mean, I do. I'd have to say I do love the splitting thing. I've not done it yet with a. Ideally, I mean, I should probably just. I put an extra push pull pot in my wee red Roadster there. But to be honest, no, I don't know. It's nice having the splittable sound. I was just thinking like the ability to like what I've got with that Ibanez I was playing there with the 3 humbuckers in it. Like positions 2 and 4 are splits, but you can't get individual coil on its own. That's what I was sitting there thinking. If I just put an automatic split on it, with a 5-way lever, so position 1 is the humbucker, position 2 splits the humbucker and puts the middle on, so you get like a Strat position 2. I quite like that idea, but then it is sometimes quite nice to have the bridge pickup on its own because I like fuzz pedals, so it's like a feature. The sound of having like a humbucker, but because you've got buttons, you can have like neck pickup single on and then a single from the bridge, so you get like the Dave Gilmour sound and stuff like that. So I mean, you do get more things with the push buttons. Not that I mean, I do have my Squire Bullet does have push buttons. They're just for coil splitting though, rather than actually choosing which pickup is on. The thing that gets me a wee bit with the switches things. Nice when the demos that aye, cool. I need to look up. I take it you know body, but I did. Yes, it still needs work done on it though. It's still just that way, only because it should be pure amazing. It's got a slight buzz to it, just a wee bit. I just need to redo the frets, and I'm going to polish the bastard. You can see it starting to look. You can sort of see its 3D-ness there. Look at that veneer, isn't it great? No veneer, it's the whole thing. But the more I've noticed it because I've been wearing it playing a jumper because it's cold, it's like it's got shiny here. So I think the reason it's not shiny is just because it's been hanging in a shop window for 3 years, not being polished. So I think it's going to end up looking like glass. I'm not sure exactly what to polish it with. I've got Pledge, but I don't know if that's really what you want. Just order some Omnico 2. I don't really know. No, you know, good point. Well, I can't remember what it was you said, Alex, for like 5 times. That's fine. It's like pure. Oh, 5 messages, brilliant. Oh, they're all the same one. But I don't know, you're probably out of range on your phone or something like that. Your phone was intermittent thing and it just sent the same message tons of times. Done it before. Hey Rasmus, you don't. I'm a guitar wiring weirdo. I know exactly how it works. You said 5 buttons, yeah. So on, neck pickup on, middle pickup on, bridge pickup on, bridge pickup coil split. Yeah, I could wire it. It's like, there's more complicated things. This one we've got single coil, inner coils, single coil, humbucker, outer coils, humbucker. Yeah, that was a pig. I don't know about the Nico 2 or which ones. A Nico are the ones that you don't get a magnet in the back. Is that right? I think that works with like a Strat pickup where you don't have like this one's got like you've got like a magnet stuck to the back of it, whereas on Nico pickups and these are just steel poles, whereas Nico ones it's actually the magnets are the poles and there's no magnet in the back. Is that right? I really don't know, and I don't really know the differences between them. And I'm not sure. I think our DiMarzio Super Distortion's not ceramic. In fact, our most humbuckers that have got a magnet in them, are they ceramic? I don't know enough about it, to be honest. I like the old Guitar Gear, guitar history, really. Yeah. I use new finish car wax. No. Good. Oh, you've got the. Oh, no, I'll have to look that up. You've got the 5-way switch as well. Bizarre. That sounds interesting. That's probably. It sounds quite complicated. That's probably why it never took off. A lot of these things never take off because they're just too complicated. Yeah, I'm all about the. You're talking about just T-cut and stuff like that. See, I'm not sure because I think it's actually an oil finish. I don't think it's actually got a finish. It's very thin finish. That's why I'm kind of looking at it. It's like you can totally see the grain, like the porousness through it. I don't know how high my resolution is. Probably not high enough resolution. You can't really see, can you? No. I just think I just feel that this bit here seems to have got shiny from rubbing on my jumper. So I might just I'm gonna have to see what I can do. But I'm not sure if it's. I think it said nitrocellulose in the advert, but I don't think it is. I think it's an oil rubbed in thing. So I mean, I'm alright using T-cut and stuff like that for, polishing up solid stuff, solid colours. But I'm just not sure with this one because it's walnut. Yeah, I've got T-cut and shit like that. An orange oil wood polish. All right, aye. See, that sounds more impressive than just using T-cut, just because I don't know. I wonder if I maybe went to like a, it's like there's a French polishing place or something, or like a furniture shop where they actually make it. Just go in and go, I want to do this. What do I want to use to polish this? See what happens. I don't think anything's going to damage it anyway. Bridge, it's Japanese. That's why. It does nothing. It doesn't really. It's quite heavy and it's good because you can totally get clamped on it. It's amazing. Everything in this is amazing. Fret leveling scares me, messing up the neck for good. No. Not if you're using an angle grinder, yeah, totally. But it's not just. I think the trick with fret leveling is to do it on. Go on Gumtree or Facebook or whatever and try and find a really cheap guitar to fix up, and do it on that. And if you do fuck it, then sell all the other bits of the guitar. You buy yourself a cheap Strat or something like that. The neck's the most expensive bit, but you get a Squire or an Encore Strat or something that needs the frets done. The chances are, of course, you're going to buy one that the frets don't need done. But I mean, it's not leveling's all right. I've got it's worthwhile getting a good file. I've got these wooden handled files. They weren't expensive. I think it was £12 for that one and the triangular one, but they are awful good. And I've got good at it. Nice to. I've done fret jobs. I think it is there. I've done fret jobs with that bastard before. That's like a B&Q job, and it's like it's harder, but it does the job. It's just that you've got to be a little bit more finesse. You know what I mean? Like brushing your teeth with an axe. Yes, you can do it, but be very careful. Yeah. Nourish the wood. I don't know if it needs nourished, but yeah, probably. Well, I think it's been sitting in direct UV sunlight in a guitar shop, which was roasting, by the way. Is not the best place to have a guitar hanging. Assuming it was hanging in the window in direct sunlight the whole time. It was when I was there. The reason I think that is because if you look at the original pictures on Reverb, I'd imagine it's not on Reverb anymore because it's this one. But the wooden binding on the neck there, you can't really see it, but it's actually two pieces of wood, and it's like a purple one, and I think it's purple heart and walnut or something like that. I just stood in that fucking ashtray. And now if you look at it closely, you can see it's two pieces of wood, but it looks like two pieces of wood the same color. So I think one of them has faded away. I don't know if there's any way of ever bringing that back. Maybe the polish would do the same to that. It seems to be very lightly, whatever the finish is on it, it's a very thin finish, because you can totally see it's not been grain filled very well or at all. I don't think anything's going to seriously damage it. Really, it's just I'm still kind of waiting for it to settle down. Although I did manage to walk it all the way to, so I don't know, but 45 minutes walk in sub-zero temperatures in a gig bag on my back, and when I got there, it still played, which it wasn't doing the first time. The first time I got it home, it was all over the place, and then I did it up, and then I took it over to Jen's, and by the time I got there, it was like the frets were all sitting flat on the fingerboard. Like, what the fuck's going on here? It was just like, because it'd been in the car in the cold for half an hour. So I think it's just acclimatizing, and I don't know whether it's absorbing water or whatever, whatever the humidity is here. It's just getting used to being Scottish. That's why I've not done it yet, because I'm kind of waiting until it stops moving and it gets more useful. Because originally I thought the neck was knackered, it was going to respond if it's hot, it'll do this, and if it's cold, it'll do this, but it doesn't seem to be doing that once you get going. Well, we'll see how it gets on. I'm finding it quite difficult that every single guitar I've got seems dead thick here now. I never noticed this guitar was here, just like a really nice Strat neck, but here it's not any thicker. It's the same as it is here. It's obviously wider this way, but which I'd never really noticed until I picked up another guitar, and it's like, whoa, it gets pure thick up here. What's going on? And they all do it, apart from this one. So it's kind of mental. But the same, it's all about confidence. I think it's just a case of, I mean, I've not done a refret yet. I'm saying it's like, just do it. I don't think a refret's going to be hard either. I've got a couple of guitars I want to refret. I don't think it'll be that hard. It's just a case of one of those things that once you've done one, just keep going. I don't know. What is it you're trying to fix anyway? You're talking about fret, because you can just kind of do the whole thing and level it all off. That's what a proper level is. I'm talking about just lowering frets that are too high, which I actually had to do on this, but I think the frets were popping out because it'd been hanging in a windy for 4 years or whatever it is in this heat. The frets on this needed done. They've obviously been very well done at some point, but through neglect and abuse, they've popped up. Also, I suppose, unlike all the other guitar, or most of all the other guitars I'm going to buy here would be, they've come from Japan or China or whatever, been in a plane, blah, 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 or come from America and all that stuff. Whereas this one went from Virginia to Pennsylvania. So that's not going through over snow and shit, I don't think. Oh. Raw linseed oil with lemon essential oil, 50-50 on my telecopy, about 8 coats. Nicely nice. Right, is that just for the whole body? Well, yeah, we could just do that. I don't know. This has no smell. But yeah, I've got linseed oil sitting there. Use that for once I've run out of. I think that's pretty much, but the Jim Dunlop stuff you get in the wee bottle is pretty much. I don't think it's 50-50. I think it's like 9%, 95% linseed oil, and then a wee bit of lemon, and then something else. Refetting is the kind of job you can get done that dead week between Christmas and New Year. Plenty of time and peace to do the job slowly. That sounds like a plan, actually. The thing is, the equipment to do it. I know that Ibanez Lone Star that I had in last week. In fact, I've still got it through next door. Was refretted, and it cost 220 quid to get it refretted. And I know it costs more to refret a maple fingerboard. So refrets ain't cheap. The actual frets themselves aren't expensive. I think it's only like a tenner for a set of frets, already pre-cut and all that, or 15 quid. But again, as you just do the job slowly. But the thing is, it's that the hard bit's not probably the hard bit's probably the fret job that you have to do. And I've done many fret jobs, so that's easy. So basically, the hard job for me is going to be taking the frets out and then putting the new ones in, just tapping them with a hammer. I don't think there's really anything else to it, is there? I think you heat up the frets with a soldering iron and then prise them out with I've got a wee thing for prizing, which is basically like a very, very flat piece of metal with like a sort of groove in the middle that you just slide under the frets and then just peel it off. I did do a refret on the J-Pax Flying V, as in I replaced one fret because one of them was missing because at some point someone had screwed in the wrong neck bolt and it had basically gone right up and then hit the bottom of the fret and then pushed the fret out. So there was like the 21st fret and the 20th fret was actually missing. And then I've got an old smashed up Ovation acoustic in the back, and I just measured it and got the one, took the fret out that was the one that was missing, and with a soldering iron. So I removed the fret from that one, put it in, tapped it in, and then just polished it, and it worked fine. So it can't be that difficult. Sand off the polyester down to raw wood took a long time. Yeah, I think everyone sanded one guitar. I did that with my BC Rich Mockingbird, and then that was when I really realized basically what you want to do is you just rough up the existing poly and then fill the gaps with car filler and then just paint the bastard, so it doesn't take that long. Scottish man goes to America and finds a corker. No, don't live in a simulation. I don't know. I mean, you're American, just corker. I mean, someone said that's a corker. I would just assume they were Irish and saying it was really good. Is that the same? If someone said I've got a corker, you go, oh, is it a really good one? It's like it's a pure corker, and in an Irish accent. I don't know. That's a corker. I assume it's the guy's name who made it. I don't know. It's a handmade thing. I'm pretty sure it's the only one that's ever been made that looks like this. I have seen other corker guitars, but they don't look anything like this. He's got I've seen like a neck through sort of 80s looking thing and a couple of tellies and a sort of Strat that doesn't have a scratch plate. But this is none of those things. And they all look completely different, handmade by one guy with using no CNC stuff. America does have good things. Everyone seems dead nice in America. Generally, everyone seems nice. So I mean, there you go. Give you that. Probably my favourite thing about America was all the people who all seem really nice. A lot of space though. It's a big place. It's like much bigger than here. Even someone when I was doing one of the live streams outside that B&L guitar shop, and I was like, I didn't know you were in America. That's amazing. I'm only 6 hours away from you, and you're like that. Pure, only 6 hours? Oh, just pop over. Like 6 hours from here is that you don't get someone who says they're only 6 hours away. 6 hours in fucking London or Norway, Norway or France or something, or the middle of the sea. Not we don't have pure 12-hour car journeys and shit that just don't happen. There's a UK term for a badass thing. I think it's, to be honest, I think it's even Irish. There's somebody used to say it. There's a comedian, Frank Wilson or something. Something his name is. You go, oh, it's a corker. For some reason, I think of that. But go to Boston, not nice. I think we were actually going to go to Boston at one point. There's another J-Pax follower in Boston that invited us up. We looked it up and it was like far too far to go. Frank Carson. Did he say corker a lot? That's a corker. Or am I just imagining that? I don't know. The refret on my Eidner, I don't know what an Eidner is, cost 280. The fingerboard needs to be radiated and lacquered. Since the neck has no truss rods, it's not straight. It was a nightmare according to the guy. Plays fab now. Right, okay, got you. I think that's probably he'd probably just never do that again. You know, he's learnt his lesson. Kenneth is like up here. I bet you if he sees another Eidner would know he'd be like up here. Oh, can you refret this? No. That's what I would do. It's like I got that off Phil McKnight. Basically, if there's someone's trying to get you a job and you're just really not comfortable, you don't want to do it, just take how much you think it should cost, double it, and tell them that. And then the thing is, it always happens as they always go, oh, that's fine. And you go, bastard. But there you go. If you can find a gun shop. Jeff, where are you? Are you in America somewhere? we don't have gun shops. It'd be amazing to have all that to explore from Alaska to Arizona. They just don't know how lucky they are. They don't know how lucky they are paying petrol. Sorry, they call it gas, which is like $3 a gallon, whereas we are like $3 a litre. That's great, eh? That's like, if only we made oil. If only we had oil. Oh, we do. How the fuck does it cost us so much then? Yeah, because there's bastards at the top taking all the money. Well, we had Victor Morris. That's true. Yes, I don't think they're the sort of place that would sell gun oil. I think you could probably buy gun oil for something else, or you'd be able to buy it on Amazon or eBay or something. I'm sure. I think that'd be more something I would want. I wouldn't. The problem I would have is I'm just worried about using any sort of oil on this that has a pure terrible reaction to it. You know what I mean? Because whatever it's made of already. I mean, it did say nitro in on Reverb, so it could be nitro, and nitro's a bit crazy stuff. So I don't know whether that would be a. I'd hate to put something on it and it just immediately turn it cloudy, and then I'd have to take the whole thing to bits and sand it down and all that. And it's like, I really want to avoid that. I would rather it just was a bit matte looking, a bit satin, rather than being super shiny, if that was the other option. So really, it's not worth it for that. We do know how lucky we are. I've been to pretty much all the USA. California alone is pretty fantastic. Yeah, no, I'd love to do it. I think maybe next time I'm going. I think I might actually be driving next time, so that should be fun. But I don't know. Assuming we get invited back, I don't know. Someone was trying to get JPAC's up here. How come you're not going to the NAMM show? You should have a booth at the NAMM show, and it's like, so maybe 2025. Have a booth at the NAMM show. That'd be fun. New Mexico and Colorado. These are all the thing is. I see all these places you keep mentioning. They're bigger than Britain. All of them, pretty much. I think. Idaho and Colorado. See, these are things. I was saying this before when I was over there. It's like, if you see things on fucking British TV or on Facebook with folk laughing at going, here's a picture of Europe, with all the countries on it, but with no words on them, and getting an American to try and guess where all these countries are, and they're like, oh, don't know where any of them. They're putting France away up where Norway is, and they've got they don't know where any of the, and it's like pure, stupid Americans don't know Europe, and it's like, show me a picture of the United States, with all the states outlined, and a list of the names of the states, and get me to put them right, and I'm getting 4 maximum definitely right, and then the rest are guesses, pretty much. The tone wood for plastic tactical grips. I don't know, the gun thing. We were coming back on the plane out of Newark. There was a thing that said, actually, the first thing was, like, the woman genuinely asked Jen, is that an assault rifle? And Jen was like, no, it's a bass. Well, a guitar case. A musical instrument. That's all right then. So there must be an occasion where it is a possibility that somebody would be trying to get on a plane with an assault rifle in a base case or whatever. And even on the bit where you go up to get your passports checked, the big zigzaggy queues you always end up having to go in, that. And it was like, please ensure that you don't have any firearms on display, or ensure any firearms are in your hand luggage or whatever it is. And you're like, you're allowed to take guns on planes at all? Never seems a bit mental. Malcolm, Saturday Night Live, good thought. Got to work tomorrow. Catch you later. I actually said I was going to. It's after 11. I'm not even that late anymore. New England, also beautiful, special autumn and very New Hampshire. Bye. England, Scotland, and Wales are the same size as the state of New Mexico. We only have 2 million people. You have 60 million. Yeah, there must be an awful lot of space there. Yeah, I think it works out worse than that. I think something like a third. No, I can't remember. There's fuck all people in Scotland. There's only 5 million of us. But so everyone else is down south. But yeah, not sure where Delaware is now. That's fair enough. When you're saying that, I don't know where half the English cities are. I kind of know where the Scottish ones are because there only are 4. So it's like Glasgow, Stirling's over there, Edinburgh's over there, and then Dundee and Aberdeen are up there, and Inverness, I suppose, is up there. That's kind of it. And on going down to England, I know where Liverpool, Manchester, Newcastle, Leicester, Birmingham. Other ones are kind of, it would be guessy again. Sort of Godzilla. Everyone was Japanese. The lack of disturbance. Yeah. there is a lot more diversity in America as well. Well, fair enough. It's a good one, Slow Ninja, just to learn it for some purpose, especially if you're showing up a child. Yes. Dunfermline's is it really? Well, England, Scotland, and Wales are long and thin. New Mexico is square. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Night Joker and night everyone else. Right. I've been saying I've been going to bed for the last hour. It's now past 11, so that's not. Hope you don't feel too shortchanged. My daughter is 23. Fucking hell. That's like, well, that's better than. You're obviously you're honestly beating me, and I was there. I mean, I was actually haven't done it yet. I was actually going to look up Google Maps earlier on and find out where Harrisburg actually was, because I don't know. I mean, we did get 3 trains to get there, and it took half a day. But I'm assuming it was basically just west of New York. I don't know. Most diverse in New York City is the most in the US. All right, fair enough. I think we're doing. We get. We really don't get very many Mexicans, has to be said, or Hispanic folk. I don't really know, because Spain's not really that far away. You just don't see very many Spanish people. We get Italians, sort of, because they opened up chip shops and ice cream shops after the war, and I suppose Indians and stuff like that. But no, we don't really have any. Even met a guy at one of the street food places who'd walked through. He was from South. I can't remember. He walked through 7 jungles to cross the border and all that. Him and his wife and his baby, like from Venezuela or Colombia or something like that. It was like, wow. He even had a bowl cut haircut, looked like a sort of one of those folk, mental. Before I start getting, I'm not racist, but I'm always really terrified about saying something and it being construed as it. I don't think anyone's better than anyone else, apart from the English, obviously, and even then, it's a joke. Night. Catch you all later, and thanks for watching and shit. And have a comment during the week if there's anything I can do better or anything you want to see videos of. I don't even know what's going on. What's a KL? I don't know what that is, but 2 roadsters for a 20-year-old daughter. Yeah. Rock on. Catch you all later. Cheers.